Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the Shit Guys Talk About. I got the Manic Genius in the building. I got Taj in the building, and we got Phil back with the shades on. So how's everybody doing before we jump in these topics?
Just chill.
Cool, man. Cool in travel mode.
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
Yeah, so
You look like a catch a predator mode.
so you go bust out with a plate of cookies and shit. Talk about AI.
Are we doing shots?
He going early, man. We missed you, man.
Okay.
Yeah, we
I'm gonna say my
throw
shots early. But
early.
you got it though. You got it.
You know I got you. Got to keep you on your game.
All right.
Predator.
I like that.
So you down there traveling around everywhere, man. You in an undisclosed location?
Yeah, it's above our pay grade, so I can't even talk about that.
So we don't get no clues, huh? You just in a bunker.
Nah, man. It's, unless you got a TSSCI, we can't really talk about it.
Okay. I got you. You know I got my top secret.
Oh, I know you do. I know some people in the chat don't though, so I can't say nothing else. I'm not gonna say no name.
Damn, Taj, why you got to call you out like that?
Oh no, I'm not gonna say names, but it's not Taj.
Why you got to call you out like that, Taj?
I know more than you know.
Hey,
Phil be hooking me up, man. That's what y'all don't know.
Oh, Phil got you.
you in a tropical location, you in a cold climate.
You said
We gonna narrow it down.
You in a tropical
y'all can try to find me if you want to.
Client.
My shit is blocked, homie. It's blocked. You ain't finding me. Nah.
Oh, we coming. Manic about to show up.
Hey, I know a guy.
Oh, you know a guy? I know 10. So we good.
I know a guy.
Okay.
I know a guy who can find anybody.
Is that right?
Hell no.
Yeah.
Look, hey, tell him pull up.
You got something
You
for
said
him,
what?
Phil?
You got
You
all
got.
the smoke.
Phil said he was ready tonight. Phil said he covered it heavy.
Yeah.
Get ready.
Okay.
Y'all gonna come out the gate talking cash? Okay.
Oh yeah, you know how we do it.
Oh, here we
But
go.
all right.
Here we go.
But we'll go ahead, man. We'll jump into the first.
Nah, I ain't gonna do that tonight. No fucking reaching.
Yeah, you ain't gonna put the shades on, man.
Keep it chill.
All right, we'll go ahead and jump into the first.
In full.
Okay. But all right, we'll go ahead and jump into the first topic. So the topic for today, give me 1 second. Let me pull that up. So the first topic that we're going to go over today is Teyana Taylor filed for divorce from Iman Shumpert. She also accused him of being a jealous narcissist, throughout the whole, I guess, divorce process. She was throwing some shots at my man. So like the first question I wanted to ask you guys, based on the stories and stuff like you guys been hearing, and, let me go ahead real quick. I'll go over the definition of a narcissist because, I always try to start off with the definition. So, all right, a narcissist is a term or is an adjective.
We can just look at Phil in it.
You saying he's a narcissist?
Yeah, we can just look
You
at
throwing
him.
shots at my man already?
Monitor
Phil, what do you think?
Coming from the nigga with the Inspector Gadget suit on? Nah, don't do that.
Said it's always the man in the plaid. I'm telling you.
Don't do that.
Oh shit! Don't forget, there's different types. There's different types of a narcissist.
I ain't go that deep. I just let me get this definition real quick, and then we gonna break it down. So, all right, a narcissist is an adjective that describes someone who is extremely self-centered with an exaggerated sense of self-importance. So, okay. So, Manic, you saying my man Phil exhibits these traits? All right, Phil, would you say Manic is a narcissist?
Manic is actually the one who created narcissism. There's not a
I'm
single
actually the
person on this
co-founder.
planet more narcissistic.
Me and
than another.
Phil created together.
Yeah, y'all both might be, man, because it does say describe someone with a
narcissism.
All right. So, okay, the first question I got for you guys, and I'll start with Phil first on this. Based on this, the definition, do you think Iman Shumpert is a narcissist? Her calling him one. Do you think he is, or?
No, I think she is.
Oh, okay. Break that down. Why you think she's a narcissist?
So Teyana Taylor has that, and I hate to say this, but she's a hood ass chick, man. The type of shit that the type of shit that she talks about, type of shit that she does, she's the type of chick that I will be like, yo, I'm gonna cut your tires, I'm gonna burn your fucking Jordans, I'm gonna cut your shit up. But like, I think that, but he has a tough situation in his hand. He ain't got no bread, he ain't got no career right now. He's not really doing much, so like he's kind of having to play that like side dude role because she's the one bringing the bread in now because his shit is over. Anybody signing him, he's not playing no G League, he's over with. So I think that she's painting a picture of him because she's got the fortune and the fame. She has to say something negative about this dude because she's probably wanting to move on to somebody better, somebody got more money, and that's just a typical chick.
Okay. Before I go to Manic real quick, we just want to give a quick introduction. CLS is in the building. How you doing, man?
Hold on for a second, man. My shit froze, man. I don't even see y'all niggas right now.
Just go ahead and hop out then and come back in.
All right.
This dude with his internet. but all right, Manic. Do you think Iman Shumpert is a narcissist? Based on like what we kind of went over and like what she said in this.
Yeah, I hate to agree with Phil, but I actually agree with him on this point. Not so much that Iman Shumpert doesn't have anything going on because, once you make it to the NBA and have a successful NBA career, you got bread. So, and that's the type of bread where you have investment. So, Iman Shumpert is good. I mean, he's got his hobbies, he's got his podcast, he's got things that he's doing. So he's retired at this point. I don't think that you can be a narcissist looking at it from Iman Shumpert perspective because when you think about how difficult it is to make it into the NBA alone, that puts you into like the less than 1%. So you are the most elite of elite athletes who came before you and who've tried. Like there's plenty of people who've tried to play professional sports and have never made it. So you kind of are at the top. So if he feels like he's the shit, I think it's valid. He doesn't have any crazy scandals. He's not like, to our knowledge, he's not super reckless with his money. So he has some pretty good habits. And he's not in the headlines. So it's just like, that's for an athlete to make it to a certain level and still have bread and, not be all losing their shit or doing something crazy. He has every right to have a higher ego or a level of confidence that makes it uncomfortable for most people because the reality is most people will never make it there. So I don't think that he can actually be a narcissist. But a lot of times people project what they actually are, in their accusations of others. So I think that if I were to look at who's a narcissist, I'd probably take a magnifying glass on Teyana Taylor because even though she's popular, as far as talent goes, there's really no comparison in between like Iman Shumpert or Teyana Taylor. I think she comes from a pretty wealthy family and, had certain privileges. I think her music is great, but, when you're an R&B singer, most of the time other people write your music. So, and it's not like she's got like the windpipe of like Mariah Carey or Adele or her or really any of these singers. So it's like, where does her talent really lie other than, being blessed to have, a wealthy family and background.
You keep saying talent. Like, what was she in?
Hey, yo, Manic. Yo, your mic is like popping really bad, bro.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's popping a little bit. You might have to. But let me go ahead to Taj. So Taj, based on like kind of the definition of narcissism, would you say Iman Shumpert, used to play for the Knicks in the NBA? Would you classify him as a narcissist? Or you think she's just kind of mad at him, so throwing slurs at him?
I don't know. I can't pass too much judgment. I don't know either one of them. I don't even really know of her like anything except for that movie Medea's Big Happy Family when she's like Byron. That was it. So I don't. Other than that, I don't really know the woman like that. I don't really know him like that either. I know he used to ball out with LeBron and the Cavs, but that's just about it. I see him as a pretty chill dude. I've come across his podcast a few times, so he's pretty laid back. So I don't know. I wouldn't give him that. No.
Nah, my man Trey. I agree, man. I think a lot of times I would say like a lot of people use these terms. I'll say wrong. So I think if somebody makes it to the highest level, because think about it, man. If somebody goes into NBA, they kind of do have a inflated sense of self, but I think people confuse confidence with like narcissism. Because it's like, man, you don't push through all those like levels of shit and make it to like what is it, like 1% of people get into NBA?
Yeah, I think that term is thrown out too loosely. I'm gonna be real with you. Like,
yeah, that's my take, man. I think a lot of people like kind of I'll say weaponize it to a degree where it's just like, hey, I'm gonna throw this on somebody to make them look like shit, kind of self-centered and stuff. So I kind of got the same sentiments with it, because it's just like they both are very accomplished people. But I think sometimes, when people go through that whole like I'll say breakup process, it's just like, you know what, look, instead of me like just detaching from the whole relationship, it's like I'm gonna kind of smear their name to a certain degree. But my man Trey, he was there was a comment that he dropped that I wanted to circle back to. Let me see if I can pull it up, because he was dropping some knowledge. So yeah, I agree, man. It's like people don't even have no certifications to be throwing these terms. It's like they took a psychology class and then all of a sudden, they could diagnose people and stuff. So definitely agree with that. See, yeah, he's like you were saying on the podcast, it's like Iman invested his money, barely spent it. And he talked about that years ago. So he does kind of seem pretty humble. But see, Travel One and Talking to Kinfolk, they turn it up. They speaking for the women, so it said women are less likely to be a narc, way less. Which y'all takes on that? Y'all agree with Travel One?
I disagree. I think everybody has narcissistic tendencies, traits. Some show it more than others, but I wouldn't put a gender on it, male or female. Everybody has those traits, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. I agree with what Manic was saying. I think a lot of times the first person, my philosophy is, man, the first person that projects it is typically the one I think like is going to have the traits. But let me go to this comment. What's going on, Talking to Kinfolk? She said, hey, that woman ain't lying. That's funny. So let me go to the next question. Give me a second. Let me pull it up. So we already kind of did cover that. So y'all think like pretty much Teyana Taylor is the one that's kind of, would you say, the narcissist in this situation? Just based on the allegations
I don't
and
know
stuff?
a woman like this. So I don't know. Whenever people go through things like this, especially in a relationship and stuff, we're all quick to say some grimy shit. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's a strategy just to keep your mind focused on leaving out, so that way nothing can like hold you in or suck you back in. I think I heard somebody say that one time. It was like, oh, I kind of have to keep myself angry about towards this person to keep from going back to the same BS. You know what I mean? So, he went from being this great guy to slipping up one thing, and all of a sudden he's all types of dumbass nigga and this, that, and the other. It's like, why are you so mad at this dude? She's like, I'm not even mad at him for real. I gotta stay mad so that way he don't suck me back in. You know what I mean? Just so that way they can follow through with the plan.
I like what you're saying. So you saying more or less like it could be a tactic sometimes, like, or just
absolutely.
to hide their hurt and stuff. So they just more or less. Okay.
I've done it, man. I've done it a few times.
Hey, y'all can hear me fine now?
Yeah, you good, man.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
So you straight. So I wanted to circle back to the comment you made about you were saying before you exit off. So you would say she's the narcissist, Manic?
Yeah.
Because you said something about projection, and I want you to kind of go into that.
Both,
This dude
Did
just
he
freeze
freeze?
up.
Yeah.
Oh, you're good now.
Yeah, I did. I definitely froze up. Yeah. I was saying that oftentimes when people are actually the narcissist, they project onto others, or if they're the gaslighter, they project onto others, or if they're the deception artist, they project onto others what they actually have been told about themselves. That's actually a very common theme. And just hearing the word narcissist, I have to look at both of the people, both of their scenarios and like where they come from, you know, what they've accomplished in their lives. And if you've accomplished some fly shit in your life, then at the end of the day, you know, the proof is in the pudding. So I think he's way more accomplished than she is as far as where he's came from and where he is now in life. So he's kind of earned that right to have some confidence, a certain level of confidence, and, you know, walk around with his head held high. So yeah. To an insecure person, confidence comes off as cockiness and arrogance. So that's just one of those things that you got to like kind of pay attention to as well. And I mean, their relationship didn't work. So, you know, when relationships don't work out, it's always the other person's fault. That's just kind of how it goes. So her calling him a narcissist is actually not even surprising.
Gotta say something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just saw in the comments, Panda One Bear brought up a good point. There are different types of narcissists. There's actually 11. So you can't just put one. You can't just put one and be like, oh, okay, you're a narcissist. You gotta know what you're talking about. A lot of people don't really know what a narcissist is until you actually get involved with one. You know what I mean? So there's one called it's I don't want to say the wrong thing, so y'all shut up. But I do know that there's one where it's not as aggressive as the others. So maybe that's what she's talking about. I mean, let's be real. We all have that trait. You know, we all have narcissistic traits.
You saying all humans, male or female?
Male or female, I don't give a damn. Fight me. But we all have it. You know what I mean? We all have those traits. It's just some, you know, it's more aggressive than others.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I kind of agree with you, man. Yeah, I think we got to, like you said, a little bit over it, but I think it's where it probably gets in that stream. And that's probably what Erica Don's talking about, like it's a spectrum, you know, because I could agree with that. But Trey has a good point. He said, I want Teyana to tell the world when exactly did he start to portray these narc traits after he retired. They're Dancing with the Stars. Then Panda Bear says, there's adaptive or maladaptive, and then it breaks into these categories. Okay, so that's what you kind of you touching on. Okay. Yeah, I guess I've never seen nobody with the actual traits, because like I said, most of the time people would talk about it, and then it's just like, man, you don't even know if that person really had narcissism or they were just kind of like an asshole, you know, very confident and stuff like that. But I guess if you, like you were saying, Taj, like if you actually see it, then maybe you could better like speak to that stuff. But yeah, I never seen nobody that had a clear diagnosis of that. I just hear a lot of people say, hey, that person's a narcissist, and half the people don't even know the definition. So I guess that's why, you know, a lot of times people just so confused on the actual definition of it. It says male narcs are toxic diagnosis and they cause the female they are involved with ill in many cases. Damn, Travel One. Travel One mad out here.
Who hurt you?
Oh, you gave it a who hurt you? Who hurt you, Travel One? Pull up. No, okay. Do you think she could be?
He messed it up for everybody. I swear.
But do y'all think like she could be also using this, like some people, how they try to play to the mental thing sometimes, like as like for like child custody or, you know, those type of, I say, court battles that might happen?
I hate to say this, but I honestly feel like this whole situation is one of those, like, we're not doing too well. Let's put our problems on social media so we can get more clout.
Oh, so you think they clout chasing?
100%. Because honestly, who really cares about Teyana Taylor? Who cares about Iman Shumpert? Be real. Teyana Taylor's got a few songs out that I like. I really do.
I didn't know she had
Iman
songs
Shumpert,
out.
though, like, he's like, yeah, he was in the league. I got it, right? I understand that. I completely understand who's in the league. He's one of those 1%. Got it. But he not doing shit now. I'm sorry. Teyana Taylor still is relevant. He's not. Then that's y'all can disagree all y'all want. That's my take on it.
But do you think he'll like do something like this to play around with his, like, I think mental health Because it's like, man, there's other things you could do. You could be like Joe Smith, man. Y'all could get an OnlyFans page or some shit, but you know, to kind of project like you have like these type of narcissist tendencies. I just don't see you like scheming like that. Would y'all think so, Manic or Taj? Y'all think somebody would play around, especially like some? Because I mean, it's not like he's broke. You know what I'm saying? I can see if he was bankrupt, maybe.
But yeah, Erica Dawn just had a great point. She just said it. Like the divorce thing is what is popular. Everybody's going through divorce, and it's all these public figures that are going through this entire thing. And it's like, it is. And she has a valid point, because think about the things we've been talking about in the podcast, right? We've been talking about people splitting up. We've been talking about people having issues, right? Yeah. Will Smith, Jada, freaking Jada kissing his wife. Like it's like, it's such a huge thing. It's like, that's the new thing to do. It's wild to me.
Yeah, happy said the same thing. No, I think people do play around with the marriages and stuff, like you said, but I think certain terms are too strong, man. Like I just don't see a guy be like, "Hey, go ahead and blast me and say I'm a narcissist." You know, that's a little too far. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, look, in the celebrity world, man, you'd be amazed.
Oh, Kinfolk says she likes her. She's an inspiration. Okay.
When it comes to the gym, and man, she got surgery. How is she inspiring? That's one of the things I hate about
man, you might be hating. She's like in shape, man. I remember that.
No, she's in great shape. She's in great shape, but it's just like she didn't get there, you know, solely with her gym ethic and work ethic. Like, you know, when you do enhancements to your body, you know, you can't take the credit for that.
Shout out to my man Trey coming in with the stats and stuff. My man Trey said Iman net worth is 30 million. Teyana net worth 3 million. Yeah,
his net worth may have been 3 million, like 30 million at one point in his career. It ain't like that now.
Nah, I mean,
man, them NBA contracts, man. Hey, he was in for a minute.
Ridiculous. Yeah, he had a solid NBA career. It's nothing to, you know, frown upon. Traits.
Okay, here go travel one breaking it down for us. All right, now let me. Traits: lack of empathy, need for admiration, sense of entitlement, controlling, exploitative.
But you're mentioning different ones, though. That's not one as a whole. Those are different. Like, that's what I mean about different. You know what I mean? I know,
like levels to it. That's what you're saying, Taj?
There is. Yeah, that just proves my point right there. You got no.
Kinfolk say you a hater, man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here go my man Trey. Trey said, "Don't ever disrespect Janet Jackson."
Teyana Taylor can't work a job.
Oh, travel clap back. Taj, she said, "Hey, she's happy." She said, "Get your weather together. Get your shit together."
The word the hate coming from men. We're not all toxic, baby. Believe it.
That's what I'm talking about. So we're saying we're going back to Phil's point. We saying this is like a whole scheme. Y'all think that Manic and Taj? Or y'all think Phil's full of shit?
No, I know where Phil coming from. I feel where he's coming from. So I mean, I don't know.
What about you, Manic?
Wait, say the question again.
I said, you think Phil's onto something with the whole divorce scheme, or you think Phil's full of shit? You know, based on her using this divorce, you know, the whole tactic.
I think there's a little bit of truth to what Phil's saying. Just off the strength of, you know, they are celebrities. They do feed off this fame and clout and, you know, in the news and trending and, you know, so I think there is some truth to it, or, you know, they would just kind of do their thing without letting the whole world into their business. So I think there is some truth in it. I don't think it's the main reason, though. I think that these two are just like any other couples. You know, they reached a point in which they were unwilling to, you know, reconcile, and they were like, "Hey, shit, I'm good, you're good." Especially if Teyana Taylor's talking about, "Oh, he's a narcissist," and it's just like, that's a mind saying, like, I'm not about to bend to your will. You're not about to shame me into doing something that you want. So it's just like, I am somebody. Like, you can't talk to me any kind of way. So I think when people don't get their way, they try to figure out ways to demonize the next person. So.
Okay, I'm with you on that. All right, CLS, you back. You got everything figured out, man. You see us now?
Yeah, I can see you. Yeah, do it for yourself.
So what's your take on the whole Teyana Taylor and Iman Shumpert, man? You think she's just trying to smear his name, or you think she's on to something? You think he's a narcissist?
You said that's what she's accusing him. She thinks he's a narcissist. That's the reason. Was that the reason for the divorce?
Well, that's what she said, yeah, in the news article, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know how he is behind closed doors. I mean, I've never met the guy. I've seen a lot of interviews over the years. He's been on Vlad TV a lot over the years, and he's been interacting with a lot of people. I don't know, he seemed like a cool dude to me. He seemed pretty level-headed, but then again, like, we don't know him personally. We don't know how people are behind closed doors. Maybe he acts differently when he's alone with her. And they've been together for a number of years. You know, people change. So, you know what I mean? Maybe in the beginning he wasn't like that. Maybe he changed, you know?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Okay. So you think she could be just using this because she's hurt, man, or, you know, like a tactic, or you think it holds some weight?
Yeah, maybe she just don't want to be with him no more. You know, maybe she met someone else, or maybe she just want to be single. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I don't know. Some relationships, you know, some marriages. I mean, I guess it ran its course. You know what I mean?
But let me ask y'all: do y'all think like people should be, you know, when they get a divorce, do you think it should be just kept quiet, or should they be blasting stuff in the headlines, or, you know, in the news media? Yeah.
Why would you want to put your personal shit out there? I just don't get that part.
Yeah,
like, why?
I get that.
But it's kind of, but it's hard to keep it private when you're a celebrity, though. They're famous. Everybody's gonna be in your business 24/7.
Yeah. And when people ask questions, it's kind of hard to not answer certain questions. So it's just like, hey, I'm going to answer the questions that they're going to ask. So I might as well tell my side of the story. And sometimes, you know, when you go through a divorce, it's emotionally tolling. So, you know, they might be thinking that they're talking to somebody as like therapy, or like, you know, it might be therapeutic for them to talk a situation out and explain what happened from their perspective. And, you know, unfortunately, there's cameras, TMZ, and the whole world to, you know, take advantage of that to, you know, spin a narrative and kind of make their own assessment. And it's kind of sick, but, you know, it's the world we live in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I think they have 2 kids together, right? They have 2 kids.
Yeah, I think they got 2 kids. Yeah.
No,
that's the thing I kind of look at it from, where it's just like, man, I get it. You might be upset. But I think sometimes, man, you know, when you do have, like, I'll say kids with somebody, it's like, I would have come out blasting because that is my kid's parent, you know, so I would just go away. And I kind of do think sometimes this is like, hey, if somebody truly exhibit them, you know, get that stuff out early, you know, don't do it through the divorce process. It just looks phony. So I do like kind of what Trey was saying, like, hey, why you wait to the last minute to kind of expose some of this stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Trey said Teyana Taylor is rumored to have an album coming out 2024, so this might be a little pre-publicity.
said Phil might be on to something. Okay, Phil.
Yeah, man. I mean, she's very talented.
Hey, Phil, you gonna buy the album?
Absolutely not.
So was the title? The album gonna be called Narcissist? Oh man, Happy Go Lucky said TMZ, the Illuminati. Was good, 84. But all right, anybody got anything else on this topic? If not, we'll go ahead. We'll jump into the next one. So let me pull that up real quick. All right. So the next topic that we're going to talk about is the whole, like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. It's the New York Adult Survivors Act. So that's the act that, you know, everybody, there was like a time period they gave everybody to file, like I'll say, lawsuits if there was like a assault and things of that nature. So some of the, like I'll say, male celebrities that had lawsuits filed on them was Sean Diddy Combs, Harve Pierre, Jamie Foxx, Axl Rose, Russell Brand. Damn, I didn't know this list was that long. Jimmy Iovine, L.A. Reid.
Russell Simmons should be on that list too, right? Russell Simmons.
Oh yeah, Cuba Gooding. I'm still going down it.
He's on there too.
Cuba Gooding. Shoot, who else? Yeah, like you said, Russell Simmons.
Mm-hmm. Fucking, I know. What's his name? Ron Jeremy might be on that fucking list too. You know, Ron Jeremy, the porn star. Yeah, dude. No, dude. I'm dead ass, yo. Like earlier this year, it was like 3 or 4 women that accused him of sexual assault. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know if he got caught under this New York one, but like from the article I was listening, these were just like the top people that they said. But yeah, I was shocked, man. When I was looking at the article, I'm like, damn, it took all these guys to get looped up. So I just wanted to get you guys' take. What is y'all thoughts on the New York Adult Survivors Act? You know, just from kind of reading about it and all that. Do you think people are justified to foul, or do you think, you know, maybe there should have been like not legal, but I'll say like a police action that goes into it first? What's your take? I'll go to Manic on this first.
Yeah, I think we're seeing it in real time how terrible this thing is, with everybody just kind of rushing to the forefront to make accusations. And not to say that, you know, some of these aren't real and have some significant validity to them, but when you have an act like this and it just calls forth everybody to just come running to see what they can grab, it's almost ridiculous, in a sense of something that may have happened, may have not happened, but you stand to gain something significant. And if not, you stand to, you know, destroy someone's character. I think it's a bad thing. I don't think that any crime really should go unpunished, but, you know, this is taken away from, like, in my opinion, the real victims who actually have had significant traumatic experiences to the point where it wasn't a choice to wait 10, 20 years. It was like, hey, I have to address this issue now. And I think that's the people who really we should be spending our time and focusing on getting justice for. The people who don't just take the money on the side and allow this, you know, this kind of stuff to happen, or wait, you know, 15 years for them for, you know, the people who are actually doing these crimes to just continue on doing them and normalize it. Like, let's reward the people who have the courage to stand up immediately. And I know it's hard, or I don't know it's hard. I can assume that it would be hard. But if you're rewarding people who have just been in circumstances that they didn't like, that's a very slippery slope, because I know a lot of people who regret the sexual partners that they have. And if you're giving them a tool in which, if you've engaged with a partner who has means or wealth that you can get, you know, financial benefits from, it's just real disingenuous to me.
All right. Good take. I ain't gonna lie, though.
Trey?
I think was good, Trey. I think my man Diddy, though, he looking faulty out here. I ain't gonna lie about that one.
Yeah, Diddy fucked up by giving Cassie that payout. He should have took that to court, because now they all coming out. Cassie got what? Oh yeah, Diddy, remember that one time you said hi to me?
So Trey, man, you got what's good, Trey? I know you got like a legal background. What's your take on this, like New York Survivors Act? Would you say?
I mean, the whole thing from the beginning is a bunch of crap. I mean, just to start the extension of it and why they did it, it ended on November 24th of this year, for those of y'all who don't know. So they had to get these lawsuits in before that.
Oh, is that why there was like a rush?
That's why there was a rush. They had to get them in before the end date, because it ended November 24th. Here's the thing. You know, I worked in law enforcement. I was a sex crimes investigator. I'll never take anything away from a woman who says that something happened to her. But I will say this, though. This sort of retroactive consent thing that these women are starting to do is quite annoying. For a guy who's investigated these crimes, it's extremely difficult to be able to put it together to find out the truth. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, that's what we're seeking. We're seeking the truth, what actually happened. And what happens is it comes off and makes it look like the women are lying, right? That's how it comes off. Okay, you're lying to us because this happened 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago. Well, how are we supposed to be able to find the evidence to be able to prove what you're saying is true or untrue, right? So a lot of the reason why these aren't going to criminal court is because they know that. They know that that burden of proof won't be there. And so in civil court, you only need a preponderance of evidence. You only need 51%. And a lot of the women understand that. They know that. Their lawyers are telling them that. This is an easy win. And if at worst, he'll settle out of court. What I want men of means, of resources to start doing is to start being smarter about how you deal with women. You are a target. And if this isn't an example, I don't know what else will be. You're a target. Women will endure whatever BS you put them through and they get to tell the story 10 years later and say, well, this is what actually happened. We're talking about women talking about they were trafficked. That's how serious it's getting. Talking about they were trafficked. But there were no hints of this at all. Nobody's saying anything about this when it was actually happening. So these guys have got to be more, have got to be safer and smarter about how they deal with women. And where's the handler? There's typically a handler for these women. They typically have to go through somebody to get to them. I don't know if that is the case anymore. I'm waiting for the dust to settle. I want to see how these because there's over 3,000 of them. I don't know if you guys know that. It's over 3,000 of these lawsuits. Those are just the popular names. But there's over 3,000 of these lawsuits. I like to see how, when the dust settles, I want to see, how many are settled out of court, how many actually made it to court, and what was the determination at the end. I have a funny feeling that quite a few of these are going to be settled out of court.
So let me ask you guys though, because I get the whole court thing, like you said, because I do think there should be it needs to go through a different process, because I do think they make the whole process generic when they do stuff like this. Because there are people that got solid, I'll say, cases and shit. So I think they do need some I say what's the go through the legal and get some repercussions for what happened and stuff. But I kind of want to focus this on the men too, man, because do you guys think men have a problem with self-control? And I think you were kind of hitting on some of that trade where it's just guys got to operate different. You can't have everything. You can't do all this crazy shit. I think I was reading about Diddy. He was talking about some freak offs and doing all that crazy stuff. Do you think men to a certain degree need more discipline, how they're maneuvering and shit out here?
Absolutely. Can't always act on your desires. So you got to think about the repercussions of any type of, extreme activity, especially if it's involving anyone other than yourself.
How about you, Phil? Do you think
I think dudes with money, women with money, think they're untouchable. Think that they got so much bread that they cannot be touched and nothing's going to happen to them. And then as you see years later, they're doing all this crazy shit and they're paying the price for it. So it's you're not untouchable, whether you're a man or a woman, period.
All right, CLS, what's your take? Do you think men need to start operating differently and, kind of start chasing their desires and stuff, doing all this crazy stuff?
Yeah, if you're a celebrity, and I guess like I said, people keep making all these accusations about you. I guess it seems like when they snap back at the people that are accusing of doing these criminal acts, they say it's a money grab. You know what I mean? They're just doing it to get money out of them, right? To extort money from them and stuff like that. That's usually the first thing they say. Which is, there could be some truth to that too, but I think some of these people are actually real victims. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how about you
on that, man?
Maybe not all, but definitely some.
Yeah. The sad thing about it is because not everybody knows nobody's going to know exactly what happened except for the victim and, of course, the person that is committing the crime. It's not always a money grab or anything like that. Sometimes the woman is put in a position where she feels like nobody's going to believe her anyway. That's kind of how today's society is. They shouldn't be questioned automatically. Hey, did this happen to you? Yeah, that's going to make them not want to talk. It's going to make them fold because I'm going to be wasting my time coming to you. You know what I mean? Same thing for women who are in abusive relationships. Have time to take something drastic to happen for, the people to be like, oh shit, I guess she was telling the truth. You know what I mean? It's too damn late now. You know what I mean? So I think, especially with celebrities, just because they got money, don't think that they're incapable of committing acts like this. You know what I mean? They're still human. And so are the victims. They're still human, and every voice need to be heard. There's too many women out here that are forced to keep their mouth shut because of money or because society don't want to believe them, and it's just one big blah. You know what I mean?
So do you think a lot of these dudes are kind of squares, and then all of a sudden they get this prestige and stuff, and then all of a sudden they just acting out on everything, man? You think that's kind of what's catching them up to a certain degree? And I'll go to you first on this, Manic.
I think there's definitely a little bit of that going on. Just with, before you're famous, before you have the clout, before all the fame and stuff like that, you're a regular person. You're out here, you know, dealing with life as we deal with life. You know, there's women that you want, there's women that don't want you. I think when you blow up to celebrity status and you get the fame, the clout, you get automatic attention from women because you're validated, you know, by, you know, the means of society. And then your pockets are validated in most cases because they can just literally Google you and you're going to have more money than the average Joe. So, yeah, with that comes a different level of attention and attraction. And I think that with anybody given power overnight, you're going to struggle with it a little bit. You're not going to make the best decisions initially, but what you can do is learn from the mistakes of others because there's been plenty of people in your shoes prior to you getting there. So I think that men have to really analyze the situations a little bit better and, you know, to protect themselves, especially when you're a person of means, because, you know, you may just think that she's into you because, you know, you're a great person because that's how you feel about yourself. But the reality is that, you know, sometimes you're just a resource. And if things don't go well for her, you know, that's an opportunity for her. You know, that's a card she can always pull and play. And, you know, we've seen so many things settle out of court that, you know, some people are sick. There's some sick men. There's some sick women. And you just got to be careful. So I would agree to that statement. But I think that overall, you know, you just have to know what you have and, you know, kind of protect your assets. When you hit a certain status, you have to learn to move and maneuver protecting yourself.
Well, Trey, if you was like a consultant to some of these like millionaire dudes, would you tell them like, what would you kind of like, what advice would you give them out here?
To get verbal consent on camera and to get written consent with a witness before you have any sexual intercourse with any woman, because you have far more to lose than she has to gain. And it's going to be inconvenient. It's not going to be romantic. It's not going to be spontaneous. Who cares? None of that stuff is going to matter when you're sitting in the court trying to defend yourself from accusations. Let's be very clear about something. Just because somebody settles out of court doesn't mean they're guilty. Michael Jackson settled out of court a lot of times. Doesn't mean he's guilty. Mm-hmm. So until a court of law,
he wasn't guilty, bro.
I think I heard drinking Jesus shoes with kids. He guilty. You got that.
No, but
my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Trey. Go ahead.
But that's the point I'm making. The moment that somebody says that they're willing to settle out of court, the overall overarching thought is, oh, he did it. Why? Because he won't fight for it. He won't fight for it. So if he's not going to fight for it, then he's guilty. No, he just probably just want to go through with it. And sometimes it's easier just to write a check, especially when you're a billionaire. Just to write a check. All right, be done with it. Fine. And let's be real about this. The only person who wins out of this entire situation are the lawyers. The lawyers are the only ones who win in these situations. Yeah. So if it were me and I was a consultant to a wealthy person, that's what I would tell them. Listen, get that romantic butterflies crap out of your mind. Them days are over. You make too much money for that. At this point, if she wants to have a romantic relationship with you, every single time y'all getting ready to get down and do the grown-up, the nasty, there needs to be paperwork signed and she needs to be on video saying, I consent to having sex with you.
God damn. You got a whole process out here. My man say you got to scan in an ID card.
But sophisticated. The point is that when women, what should be happening is that when women decide that you want to date a man who makes that kind of money, you should already understand that you're not going to be able to play those games with him anymore. That you're going to have to go through this process now. If you want to date with a man who makes that kind of money, there's a process you have to go through. A lot of women know right now there's no process. All I have to do is seduce him. Speaking of Iman Shumpert talked about how women are already in the hotel room by the time you get back there. They know what they're doing. They're not stupid. These are not stupid people. They know exactly what they're doing. But if there was a known process across the industry that in order to have sex with a rich man, you got to go through this, and this, it would deter a lot of this nonsense.
All right. We're going to get Miss Dawn in here. We're going to get her perspective. So, Miss Dawn, the floor is yours. Nobody cut her off or anything. We operate differently here. So go ahead, speak on the topic and break it down how you like. Are we screwed up? Go ahead, go in on us. It's all you.
A bit. I put in the chat my question, because I hear everything you're saying, Trey, and it makes complete sense. However, I hear a lot from men about don't get caught up. Do what you got to do to make sure you don't get in trouble by the law. But what about hearing men tell other men how to just not do it because it's wrong? Like, I don't hear enough of the morality piece behind these abusive types of situations, because there's a lot of broke niggas out here doing the same shit. It ain't just the rich ones. Okay. So I want to hear from y'all as men, Black men. What do y'all say to other men out there besides what to do to protect yourself against the law and not get caught up, quote unquote, but to just, from a moral standpoint? Like, what's your take when it comes to dealing with women?
Let's
No,
take
that's
a poll. Go
good.
ahead.
And this is. Oh, go ahead. You about to?
No, I was just gonna say, let's answer a question. Sophisticated jerk. I was gonna take a poll. Like, what would you say?
Oh, it's easy. And this is why I did post this, because I do want to start getting to more of the solutions. So that's why we do post stuff like this. And I'm glad you asked. The first thing I would tell guys is, like, first, don't ever put your hands on somebody. And everybody on this panel, we all know each other. No guy's going to do that. All family oriented. But I would tell guys, man, get with somebody that actually likes you. Stop trying to live out your desires. Because I think too many times, like, guys do get money and some paper, and they just blinded by beauty and all this stuff that's out there, when it's just like, man, get somebody that's actually into you, that likes you, has your best interests, and you just can't have everything. Just because it might be coming swarming at you, groupies. We hear the stories from these celebrity guys, but it's just like, you, like you were saying, you got to live in morality. So I'm Christian based, man. I had to grow up myself, and I would tell guys, just grow up, man. Don't do that. There's gonna focus on your craft, hone in on that, and just get a woman that truly likes you, and you avoid a lot of this stuff. I've been married 20 years, never had to deal with any of these issues, and I'll be looking at these stories back and back, and I'm just like, thank God, boy. I don't have to be out there. So that would be what I'll be telling people. So, Manic, I'll toss it back to you. You will go around and get all the other guys. But great question. I'm glad you asked.
Excellent question. I would just say, find what you are. So for me, I'm a professional man. I only deal with professional women because I understand inherently we both have things to lose. I can't, I don't raise my voice at women. If I find myself dealing with a woman who's raising her voice at me, I remove myself from the situation. And it looks crazy, but I do that every time because I know I have so much to lose, and it's not going to go anywhere positive. It's not going to go anywhere good if I over yell this woman. I know my voice is louder, it's deeper. I'm not going to win. It's not going to look good optic wise. And if I have somebody that I can't talk to, and despite the situation, then it's an L. And that person showed me who their true colors are, because they're not able to articulate themselves in their emotional rage. So I deal with a certain type of woman, a certain class of woman. And there's beautiful women everywhere at every level. And when I get like a hint that this woman is, possibly could go there, physically or verbally, just, not emotionally, like not really there, then I slowly remove myself from the situation to where it's like, hey, we can, be friends. We can't continue this anymore. So pay attention to the signs and know who you are and know your triggers. So I just tell men to hey, find women that you're at your level. And then I'll pass it on to Phil.
Erica got us up here sweating.
So I'm not going to if I got a good woman, I'm not finna fuck that up. I don't give a damn what these young girls look like, what the old ones look like. I don't care. You can flash whatever money you got, whatever beauty you think you may have, but right now I got a good one, and I don't give a damn what a woman approaches me. I know what I got at home. I'm gonna stay my ass where I need to be. I'm not talking to nobody, texting nobody. It's my girl and me, and that's it. Now, if shit falls through, I'm not gonna go back to these streets and do no hoe shit. I'm gonna try to find the same type of woman that I have, and that's what I gotta say about it.
And she's a professional woman, right?
I will be in the streets though.
I said she's a professional woman, correct?
So y'all got a little bit more of expectations than I do, and I support what you guys got, but I'm not gonna equal up to what you guys have. I completely understand what you guys are saying in that sense, but again, everyone has their nuances. No one's perfect. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for somebody who's going to support me, like you guys said.
Yeah, a professional woman though, because you're a professional guy.
If you want to,
does your girl have a job?
Why? That's an automatic assumption, my man. So I'm not saying that she ain't got no job.
You know she.
I'm not gonna pick up the random girl in the street and have a conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not. I'm not doing that.
That's my point. You know, rock with what rocks with you. But CLS, what you got? What advice do you give men?
I mean, just to add on to what you guys already said. I think you should only pursue a person who's like who's genuinely interested in you. Like, don't try to date someone who's really not into you like that. I mean, because you're pretty much just wasting your time. Especially if you want something long term. If you're looking for a relationship, something long term, something that could possibly lead to marriage, something like that. Unless you want something casual, then I would just say just stay single. But I think the mistake a lot of famous guys make, like the ones who just grew up dirt poor, you know what I mean? And then now all of a sudden they're millionaires. Those guys, I mean, now they have all this wealth. I mean, they have access to women that they never had access to before. But you damn sure, because think about it, you got $2 million sitting in the bank. You ain't dating Keisha at McDonald's. You know what I mean? That cashier at McDonald's no more. You can be dating chicks like, I don't know, like Kelly Rowland or something. You know what I mean? Like
some people do. Some people got $2 million in the bank and still be dealing with the ratchetness out here in these streets. But you know,
what I mean, yeah, they
real quick. Talking to kid folk, fuck Phil. Sorry, we hating up here. We hate on this panel.
Hey, look, guess what? I promise to God, I'm gonna get all the support from the ladies based off what I said. So you can say fuck me all you want to, homeboy. I'm with it.
Can I say one thing real quick?
Is the assumption that somebody who works at McDonald's or woman works at McDonald's is automatically ratchet?
No, she's not ratchet.
Trey, look, I'm gonna stop you right now.
Trey, to me, yes.
To man,
you can have some bread. I can't even lie to you, Trey.
That doesn't mean she's ratchet.
Get your weight up. I'm bougie out here.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm a gold digger.
I think it's just an example of like you don't need certain qualifications to work at McDonald's, but I think all jobs are respectable in their own right.
Can I say one thing?
Get the fuck out. McDonald's. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So everything y'all are saying, I love it. Great. When it comes to seeking out someone that you are interested in dating and being in a relationship with. But most of these cases are situations where people out at a club, at a restaurant, getting groped up. They're not dating these people. They're not in relationship with these people. They're not looking to like these people. They are just acting on impulse in their physical beings. So that's my question more specific. Like, how do you tell men to calm that shit down morally?
Like, calm down in the sense that, like, they're not those are not the woman they should be looking for?
No. I think I get. Hold on, let me see if I can answer this question.
I do agree with what you're saying about Eric, not looking for specific types of people, but I'm saying in situations where you might be in a situation, I don't care if you drugged up, you drunk, whatever it may be, but you're in a room full of beautiful women. How do you tame yourself to not feel like the big booty chick that might come over to you and may, rub up against you? How do you keep yourself from morally not acting on that or doing something wrong or pushing her into the bathroom or doing, because there's guys out here doing that. Y'all may not be doing that. And I hope that you're not. But she
rubbed up against me.
If she rubs up against you, does that give you the right to rape?
Does it give her the right to rub up against me?
So Erica, can I just say that
I had a girl grab my ass before in the club, and I didn't invite that. I was just trying to squeeze by.
Did you feel violated?
If she grabs your ass and you grab her ass, the reason why I'm
challenging you is because you just skipped right over her assault. You just went right over it. Like it was nothing. But technically, based on your example, she assaulted him first.
Assault?
Yes, that's what it's called. Yes, that's what it's called.
Sexual assault. Yes,
that's what it's called.
And you know what that's called?
But that's the point.
I don't think we can say that word.
See how you just went right over it. Like
let's say SA. Yeah, I don't think we go.
Okay.
Erica, and that's when men start saying me as well. Instead of me
Me
too.
as well.
You guys are saying me
Instead
too.
of
We saying me as well.
Okay, but also we also know that when it comes
See,
to
let's go
the
start the
law,
me as
all
well
of those
movement.
things would be
Damn
brought
right, me
out
as well.
to the forefront, right? But I'm saying, as far as your attraction, take out the essay on both sides. There are men out here who act on if a girl just looks at you.
Yeah.
You
So
take that
Erica,
as an invitation.
yeah. So
So
Erica,
I just need y'all to explain to me how you guys as men are telling men to just stop.
listen, Erica,
doing
let me
this
just say something really quick. I hear what you're saying, but the thing is, we cannot control the actions of other men, nor is that a winning position. Imagine me walking around trying to police other grown men what they should and what they can't do. I can speak about it and I can give them advice, but unsolicited advice to the wrong person can get you in all types of.
I'm be like, yo, bro, who the
sticky
fuck is
predicament.
you? Get the fuck out of here.
Exactly. So it's just like
Mhm.
what we can do though is, lead by example and be role models. So if a woman were to walk up to me and do some like scandalous stuff and she's not my type, it's not going to go anywhere. I don't care how good she looks. Now, if she's my type, then I may, hey, what's up? Like, what's going on? But that's my approach. Everybody has a different approach. There's some dudes who are way more aggressive than me, and they will follow her in the bathroom, and they will push up on them like, oh well, she advanced at me. It kind of is based on your environment, what you grew up, and what you grew up to accept. So I grew up in a different type of environment where like everything's consensual. I was warned about different situations, so I'm going to maneuver a little bit differently than other people. Somebody who was raised in an aggressive environment, who was raised in an environment where you gotta, closed mouth don't get fed type of environment. So you have to understand the dynamics where you are, especially as a woman. So I would say that there's onus on both parties in any situation. You got to think of, hey, this happened, but did it have to happen? What was your role in this situation happening? If I go to an area where I'm not familiar with and I'm wearing some flashy clothes and I'm causing so much attention to myself, if I get robbed, I'm not going to sit up here and be like, oh my gosh, they shouldn't have robbed me. Yeah, no shit. But I put myself in a position to be exposed, to be getting to look like a lick. So it's just like there has to be accountability on all sides. So I would say that for most men, just lead by example. I'm a big believer in consent. So just lead by example.
Let me jump in real quick.
Can I say
and
this?
I'll give you.
Because I gotta go.
Oh, go ahead, Trey.
Go ahead, Trey.
I can't hold another man accountable because there's no consequence behind it. Unless I'm going to run behind him and beat him up every time he does it. I can't do that. I can't hold Phil accountable for anything. There's nothing I can do to that man. I can talk to him till I'm blue in the face. He don't have to listen to me. You can go through one ear and out the other. There's an entire system that was created by men to protect you women, to hold men accountable. I know because I was a part of it and locked up a ton of men. So the issue is why aren't women using the system correctly, properly, to hold the men that are committing these crimes accountable?
I'm not talking about the system. That's not my question. And
no, but you're asking me as a man, why am I not speaking to other men? I don't.
No. I'm not asking you to in the event to stop another man from doing something. That's not y'all taking it.
But I don't need to.
I'm saying I, as a woman, me as a woman, can tell other women who are out here on Instagram selling their bodies, doing whatever they are. I can tell them that morally they should have more respect for themselves as women. I can say that, and it not be wrong or me like policing them or what they're doing, but I can tell them or give them advice to, hey, like you said, there's certain people put themselves in certain situations. I will be careful as far as not saying like, oh, it gets into the whole, well, she shouldn't have wore that type of angle. So I'm not going to go that far. But there are certain times where if you out at a club and a man invites you to his home and you go to that home by yourself, alone, whatever it may be, yes, you put yourself in a predicament that you didn't have to be in. And I, as a woman, can tell another woman, you shouldn't have done that. That was stupid. That was dumb.
So Erica, you're saying we were like,
you just want a man to tell another man something. You just want them to speak on it.
Men in general, I'm just saying that I feel like it would be nice if more men held men accountable for their actions and upheld men to a higher standard to do better. That's
Erica, let me say this. I could tell every man in this room right now what to do. They're gonna do what they want to do regardless.
Absolutely.
There's nothing I can say to them that I could preach and try my best to get them to go in one direction and be like, this is wrong. They're gonna be like, oh, okay, cool. The next day, same thing for a woman. You can try to preach as much as you want to a woman, but they're gonna do what they want to do regardless. No matter how much we mentor, how much we help, there's nothing we can do in that situation. They have to do it on their own. They have to have their own self-respect not to do these things. Granted, you have a support system in your friends, and I appreciate that. And you might get some good guidance from them, but you could tell a person for an hour and a half, hey, that is completely wrong. You shouldn't do that. And they'd be like, I feel you. 2 seconds later, they're doing it. So it doesn't, like, I feel what you're saying, but that's a really hard thing to do. It really is difficult, even for a man or a woman.
Nah, because I totally agree with you, Erica. Like, I think, like, if you do have a network, you always should police people up. Like, it's hard sometimes. You're going to get those backlashes. But I'm like you. I'm still going to tell people, like, hey, man, I don't think you should do whatever. But like everybody says, man, I think people end up getting, I'll say, burnt out by, like, policing everybody up, because you be the one that gets cussed out and stuff. So sometimes it just, like, deflates you a little bit. You're just like, man, you know what? I'm tired of dealing with it, because I've been down that path. I'm telling people, I'm like, hey, man, don't do this, A, B, C, D. They challenging you. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of get the brunt of all that. But I still think, like, I get what you're saying, because you're like, hey, man, you still need to do it at the end of the day, because we see the results where it doesn't end good for all people and stuff like that. So I'm constantly telling guys, like, hey, man, like, don't act on your desires whenever don't, because, like, majority of I say when this stuff goes down, it involves liquor. So I agree with, like, Travel One. A lot of times it's involved in liquor. So even in the military, when I was in there and CLS is in there, we had to do, like, sharp training for people. So we're telling troops where it's like, hey, don't be in the barracks drinking with each other and then that type of stuff. But you know what? They're going to have that party anyways and stuff. But this is like, you still have the, like, I'll say, duty and obligation to give that briefing and tell them how this ends out for all sides. And then it's just like, hey, if you see your battle buddy or partner, pull them away. If they see somebody, like, acting aggressive and stuff, it's just like, look, dudes, if y'all see some chicks out there you like, just get the number, call them up the next day when everybody sobers up. If she likes you, then, y'all return the phone call, go out, meet each other. So it's just like you're saying, there's a process where you don't have to act on everything that night and stuff. And, that person might be incapacitated and stuff. So, yeah, I totally agree with you. I see what you're saying.
Eric, I got a question for you, though. How many friends that you've had in your life that you've, like, tried to help and mentor, and you've told them not to do something, and they consistently did the opposite of what you said in terms of, like, suggestions or help?
Yeah, many, but that doesn't change my.
Now imagine doing that to a stranger.
Aspect. No,
she's not even saying a stranger. She's just like, like, what are you doing to prevent? I think she's focused on prevention, and that's where I agree with you.
So when the whole Diddy Cassie thing came out, right? Immediately, what I saw on social media from men on other podcasts, whatever it may be, was immediately, oh, it's just a money grab. Why she wait so long? That's the first thing that was said. Not, damn, I'm not sure if this happened to her, but if it did, that's fucked up. I feel for her. We got to do, like, that's wrong. That wasn't the first approach. The first thing is, oh, it's just a money grab, which again is a whole different conversation. But I think just men in general right now, with the climate of social media and the whole men versus women and women just want money and all that, I think that that's a trigger when it comes to money and men and conversations about men around money. So when y'all see somebody follow suit and they get paid out, that money grab thing, I think, is a trigger, because right now, just with the conversations that are happening around men and women just want to take everybody's money, and that's all they want is a man with money. I think y'all are triggered by that a little bit.
Well, I think I just want to make one point. Because the Cassidy P. Diddy issue, we did cover it on our last show, and the guys or people who rushed to say, "Oh, this is a money grab," they were actually right, because when she filed her paperwork, she had language in there, and she was, the ideology was I'm going to do this to stand up for the women, the voiceless women, and I'm going to hold him accountable. And she did the exact opposite. She took the money to like keep everything quiet, to not go any further into like details. So it's just like, I mean, the people who rushed to judgment to say that was a money grab, they were kind of right.
Because
if somebody, she was detailed in her.
Very detailed. And it still works. Her lawyers are very smart. She has very smart attorneys.
Oh yeah, no, she
was abused, bro. She was abused.
Holding him accountable, it still worked, and she got the money. So it wasn't just a money grab. They were very strategically in the way.
See, Erica, I think the issue that like I would say I would have with anything is just like you can't put a price tag on morality. Yeah, because I'm with you. Like it's just like bury him, take him through the legal courts. I'm on board. But I think some people just kind of see like when you do cash out,
settle out of court
and stuff like that. It's just like, you want to prevent this from happening to other people. So that's why me personally, like anything, I feel like I have an obligation to like go this extent because I want to make sure that that person doesn't do this to another person. But like I said, like hearing people talk, I do see like what other people are saying because maybe this was like the way to open the door for like other people to come through in the facts because like I read her stuff, like it was detailed. That's why I was like, hey, he's in my eyes, I think he's guilty because like she had it was broken down in like timelines and stuff like that. So she did shine a light.
There are people out there who are gonna try to money grab, but that could have also been part of her lawyer's strategy. Like we are going to put all of these details out here about what happened. He's going to settle because he's not going to want this to go in front of the public about all of these things. But there are going to be other people out here who want a money grab who are going to tell their story too.
Yeah, because there are more cases, like you said, that's like people speaking out against it. So I mean, that could have been a good strategy.
But I just wanted to hear a different perspective about.
No, we appreciate that. That's why we're trying to do this stuff is because, like I said, you got to get the conversation initiated. And a lot of times, like it seems like people go on sides, which is understandable. But it's just like, hey, let's walk through this whole scenario because, like, I like what you were saying, prevention. I preach that all the time, and I'm like, people don't want to have that end of the conversation. It's like, hey, how you prevent people from even getting to this capacity, anyways? But that seems like the miss it is people want to focus on like steps 3, 4, or 5 of like what happened, and it's just like, hey, let's pull our people, like you said. Hey, if I'm with my guys out there, like, look, man, chill out with the drinking, just get the numbers. We'll call them up tomorrow, and like you said, you're gonna pull your homegirls and be like, look, let's not do this, like. And that's what needs to happen more. Like we said, we used to call it the buddy system. Like, police up your buddies. You see your girl over there talking to some guys, like, hey, let's go. Like, we've been drinking. Let's go home. So I definitely agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, I look at this Travel One comment. Disagrees with me. Like I love when people disagree with me because it allows me to hear a different.
I've been disagreeing with you since I met you.
Yeah, it allows me to see a different perspective, but. I mean, I really just see it as open and shut. It's like she had this morality to where she wanted to go the distance and, she knew she was going to have to relive the trauma if it went to court. So it's like instead of, exposing, the harshness and the realities and going back and forth and, it's tedious. So it's a lot. But if you're really about that life and you're really trying to protect others and you would want your story to be heard, you wouldn't sign an NDA to like not discuss it anymore, to keep it under wraps, because what essentially you're doing is enabling somebody with money. You're saying, I'll take the money to shut up. That's exactly what an NDA is. So, I mean, I'm welcome to hear Travel One's take on that.
I believe she was a victim though, bro. Everything.
Oh, absolutely. She's a victim. I'm not taking away that she's a victim. She's definitely the victim in this case. But I think that she's taking the money to say, hey, even though I'm a victim, I would rather have this money than expose all the evil and atrocities that happened to me.
Yeah, well,
and I mean I don't knock her for it because I don't know her financial situation, but you can't sit up here and, like the jerk said, have all this morality and then your morality can be bought.
Yeah.
Because I just look at it, I come from stuff mainly from a Christian standpoint. So it's just like, man, say like even if I I saw like somebody shoot somebody and it was like the mob or some capacity. Even though it might be dangerous, I got to go up there and I got to do what's right. You know what I'm saying? I could go and hide out and stuff, knowing the repercussions. But it's just like, if I want to do the right thing, I gotta do it, man. Like I can't run from that, you know? So I think that's why some people struggle with these type of things. It's not saying like, you know, that person ain't a victim or nothing, but it's just like, I think people look at the responsibility element of it, where it's just like, hey, I have to do this. This is what's right. You know what I'm saying? I got to do tough things in life. But I get it. You know, somebody might not want to go through the process and relive stuff too. So I am seeing that side of the house also.
Yeah.
Diddy did that shit. Fuck
He
that.
did. Everything he did.
Taj, you Panda Bear says they want to hear your take on this. What's your stance? What do you think?
Man, I haven't had a chance to talk worth a damn. I forgot everything. Erica done asked. I'm like, I don't know whether to be pissed or just sit back and listen.
I'll jump in sometimes, man.
I done forgot, dog. I don't even remember what the hell she asked.
No, Erica was asking about what do you do to I guess I don't want to say policing other men, but what was your question again specifically? It's like, how do you
just more not in the specific instance of policing other men, but just overall as far as advising other men as far as how they should behave better, rather than it be, oh, it's just a money grab, or protect yourself against the law, or here's what you can do to, you know, get away with certain things without being caught and things like that. More so from a protection standpoint. We as women want to hear other men come from a stance of protecting us. And a lot of times these conversations don't sound like we're protected in any way by our men.
Right.
It sounds like there's just avoidance on how you can just kind of, I don't want to use the word abuse us, but take advantage of us versus protect us.
Just giving you a full warning. I'm 28, so I'm young. So if I don't give you the full answer what you're looking for, I apologize in advance. As far as us protecting our women, it starts with self-discipline, in my opinion. Like for instance, I use this as an example. Out here in Kansas City, we got this place called Bridgers, and we go out and do our thing at the club. You know what I mean? You know, we all go through a little powwow before we leave. We all stick together. If we drift off for whatever reason, get your brother back. You know what I mean? Just keep a level head. Know your limit, for one. You know what I mean? I don't care if a woman brush past you or not. Chances are she's not in the right mind, because if you study your environment, 9 times out of 10, the men are the ones sober, not the women, and that's the reason for that. So you gotta be smart. Just focus on having I don't want to say the wrong thing, but mainly it's all about discipline. You know what I mean? It's that type of maturity that you got to take with you when you go out. If you see something happening, you know, step in and don't be afraid to speak out. That's what me and my guys do when we head out. You know what I mean? Just got to be more self-aware of yourself. If you do mess up, you got to be able to hold yourself accountable, of course. But mainly, it's hard. I got daughters, so I don't like to think too far ahead, but you know, eventually they'll be in those type of environments. And I wouldn't want nothing like that happening. A lot of people sweep that shit under the rug, be like, oh, well, she asked for it. No means no at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Nobody's asking to get touched a certain way. Nobody's asking to get raped. You know what I mean? I don't see how that makes sense. You just on both parties, just keep a level head, be mindful of your surroundings, obviously. And like Jerk said, you know, the buddy system works. It works. You know, if you know you're a lightweight, you know, try not to drink a whole lot. You know what I mean? Because you're going to do something stupid, because when you're intoxicated or piss-faced drunk, you're not in your right state. You have no control of yourself. You know what I mean? So you don't know what you're going to do. You know what I mean? But it's all about holding yourself accountable, man. I don't know how that's a tough question. I guess it
is, because I was going to say something like right after you went, Erica. I think the reason we're struggling and I think when good guys get asked this question, it's hard as hell because we don't operate like that. So, you know, it's kind of just like one of those things where I think we're struggling, like trying to answer this stuff because this is like, first of all, we don't really operate like that. You know, we just don't do
like,
that. So I think that's why we're pushing ourselves. It's like, damn, what?
Yeah, no, and that's refreshing to hear. That's the whole point of me asking the question is because, and I can't speak for all women out there who watch podcasts, who are on Instagram and see these little clips going, all like, we don't hear it enough. You know what I'm saying? The things that y'all are saying, even when I said before, like, I'm not talking about a relationship aspect, even to hear y'all talk about, you know, I got a girl and, you know, I love her and I'm going, like, that's refreshing to hear in today's social media climate. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, that's
no, we appreciate that.
Brought it up.
Because, you know, we all know each other. So, like, behind the scenes, like, I know even going back like 20 years ago, you know, like CLS would be like, dude, you got you a good one. You know, man, it'd be like, yo, dog, you tripping on this, you know? So it's like, we definitely police each other up, you know, keep each other on the right path and stuff. So yeah, that's why when Taj was like, damn, how would I answer that? I was like, you know what?
The best
it
way
is
to
hard
sum it
to answer
all
this.
up, man. The best way to sum it all up, you know, especially for the brothers out there, man, treat your women how you would want the women of your family to be treated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just protect your queens, man. That's all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But Erica, from like a female's perspective, because I like what you asked. What do you think people need to be doing like in those settings also, like from a female perspective? Like, what would you like if you were schooling them how to operate out there? Like with these guys that are kind of on that weirdo shit.
I mean, I think it's perfectly fine to have fun. I think it is important to know your surroundings on both ends, men and women, because there are women out here that's trifling, that's out here trying to get somebody caught up. That it absolutely happens. But there are men who just get excited. They have no self-control. They just don't know what to do when they get around certain type of women or women that they deem to be attractive or whatever it may be. But I do think too, also, when you talk about money, I do think sometimes men, when they feel like they have money, men a lot of times put it on the woman and say, oh, these women just want men with money. But y'all lead with that in a lot of cases. When we out at a club, I don't club no more because I'm too old for that. But back in the day,
stop playing.
when men approach me, they lead with money. They lead with what kind of car they got outside. Or they lead with how many drinks they gonna buy. Or they buying drinks for me and all my friends, trying to show that they got money or they got a section or whatever. I don't want to come to your section, sir. And then they're confused. Why not? And I've been around people with money. So that doesn't move me or impress me because I've been around people with money. And I also know that people with money who really got money don't operate like that.
Thanks.
So in those certain situations, I've seen it both ways where there are women who mistakenly think that there's these ballers around and they think that they're going to get this and get that. And that's totally not the case. And they put themselves in stupid ass situations. And I'm woman enough to say you're a dumbass because you put yourself in that predicament. But there are also men who then get got and get robbed or wonder why they stuff missing the next morning when they wake up because you a dumbass. Because you was looking at her body or whatever is like you led with that because you thought that it was going to get you what you wanted in that moment. But why do you want that? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like how y'all said, like, what are you looking for real? Are you looking for arm candy? Does that make you feel better if you get the ratchet chick or the girl with the BBL? Does that make you feel better because you have her?
Talking about club settings.
It's a sandwich making trophy wife.
Like,
and club settings. I'm just trying to get to the business.
Yeah, like I don't know. I on both ends, I see a lot of stupidity when it comes to just interacting with one another and the expectations from one another. But I do think money plays a big role in it. Sex plays a big role in it. How you present yourself plays a big role in it. But yeah. So.
Yeah. To answer your question, Erica, and I'll just make this brief. When you ask, like, what are we looking for? You know, that's going to vary from each individual. Like, I'm single. I think CLS is, me and CLS, we're cool as hell. But we're looking for different things. And it doesn't make me right.
Which one of y'all for the streets? Would y'all say both of y'all for the streets?
He's definitely for the streets now.
I'm not for the streets.
Because friendship fell apart. Hey.
Damn. No, I'm not for the streets. But if you ask a man that question, each man is going to give you a different answer, and some are going to give you an honest answer, and some are going to just flat out lie to you. So, as people or as women, I would just say, watch people's actions or pay attention to people's actions, and listen less on the words unless they coincide. Damn, I'm losing my words, but unless they're equal to the words are equal to the actions. So everybody's looking for different things.
Mm-hmm.
And just like women, I could ask 30 women, what are you looking for? I'm going to get 30 different answers. And I might get the surface level answer, a long-term relationship, but I'm going to break that shit down and I'm going to get 30 different answers. What does a long-term relationship look like for you? Some women will say, oh, he's tricking and I'm at the house and he's paying for my lifestyle. Some other women, I just want a guy who's going to be loyal to me. And then other women are like, hey, I want a guy who's going to allow me to just do whatever I want. And I'm going to be able to, control the situation, but make him feel like he's controlling the situation.
Can I say something?
And he's going to.
Go ahead, Taj.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
This is just a question for everybody. Is it fair to say you're not going to find that person that you're looking for in a party or at a club?
You are absolutely correct.
Because I ain't gonna lie, from my personal experience, getting effed up, man, I can't tell you the amount of times I woke up in somebody's bed and I can't remember their name. I'm literally, when I go, and I'm being honest with everybody, when I go to a club, I'm going straight for the business. And I mean, I don't push myself on anybody, but that's the first thing that comes to mind. I'm assuming everybody else is kind of in that same mindset. And if it goes there, hey, cool. But I'm not going there to be like, hey, sweetie, what's up? I want to get to know you. No, that's the worst place to try to get to know a female. You know what I mean? I'm up here drinking and you drinking and you got everybody bumping and grinding on each other. You ain't about to find that special person in no club, man, or no party.
Yeah,
I think you can.
A boyfriend in a club.
Anything's possible.
Have you?
Yeah, I think you can. Yeah, I think you can. I don't say it's the best. I wouldn't recommend it as the best place or the most ideal, but just like all of us, we all consider ourselves pretty good people and good catches. We've all been to a club.
I'm fucked up. But go ahead.
Okay, we have one person who can admit the truth. But the rest of us who live in a delusion, we're all great people. We're all perfect. We've all been to a club. So I don't want to necessarily say that everybody who goes to a club is terrible. Now, somebody who's a habitual club goer and party goer and they don't have, their life together and have any ambition, then yeah, that's a different story. But I don't go to the club often. But if I went to the club and met somebody and they don't actually like being here either, then who knows where it could spark and where the potential could be.
Yeah, it's always gonna be
had
a girl in that group.
I've gotten into a relationship with somebody that I met at a club. I don't go to the club looking for love, but I did meet somebody out at a club and it turned into a relationship. I've also met another person at a club and we've been great friends for 13, 14 years. So it can happen. I just don't think that that's a place you should go looking for it.
Right.
Okay. Right. Yeah, that was my question.
Yeah.
Erica, don't let us find out you on I'm dating in the club app or something.
Yeah.
That's
me in the club.
I don't believe
You said a friend for 13 years? You met a friend for 13 years in the club?
Yeah.
Thank God he froze up.
I actually went to
Yeah, I'm
it's
back
kind of a
now.
crazy story. I went to the club with an ex and he was trying to look for something in the club, trying to make me jealous. I got away from him and escaped because there was too many fine men up in that club for me to be around him. And I propped up by myself somewhere in the corner looking cute. And that person approached me and we've been friends ever since.
So he bought you drinks.
No, he didn't actually.
He didn't buy you a drink. He just
His
came
friend
through
bought me a drink because his friend was trying to holler at me. His friend bought me drinks. And then he slid in and kind of ran interference and I liked it. But that's all.
Okay.
I believe you.
And y'all just had a straight friendship for 13
Yeah,
years.
we've never done anything, never like we don't even live in the same city, but we've been friends for 13, 14 years.
But you got that connection. You got that. You stayed in contact with him. So there's an attraction.
There's definitely an attraction for sure.
Okay.
So Trey,
does he have a girlfriend? Hold on. Does he have a girlfriend now?
He says he don't. Do I believe him? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
is my man in the friend zone, Trey? Is he friend zoned?
Well, yeah, he friend zone.
It's friend zone.
That man been trying to get a sniff of that thing for 13 years.
13 years.
Said he was playing a friendship role. He had her changing light bulbs and shit. Hey, you need anything else done?
Hanging up
TV hung?
hanging up TVs, cutting grass. He doing everything.
He's a good guy. He's a good dude, but he did.
That's exactly what you say about friends. That's exactly what they say about friends. He's a good guy.
Hold on, wait. Okay, all right. So since I got all these,
So that's a standard friend quote.
he would be a really. I think he's very attractive. So obviously, I'm attracted to him. However, there are certain things that I require as a woman. Other women may not have standards, but I do. So there's just certain things when it comes to communication, all of that I require in order to court me, date me, whatever you want to call it. And he's not meeting those expectations. So
How's that
I
strategy
cannot
working
settle
out
for him being fine.
How's that strategy working out for you, Eric?
I mean, it ain't working out nothing. It just ain't going nowhere. That's fine. There's other men out there. I don't have to settle for him. I'm not trying to make it work out for me. I'm okay.
She got options, bro. She got options.
Hey, CLS, Todd, I'm trying to hear from y'all, bro. I'm trying to hear your opinion on this whole thing.
She got options. She has options.
I got smoke for Trey though, because he kind of snapped on when I was talking about this McDonald's thing. He asked that question and it hopped off, man. What was the pushback about McDonald's?
I think in today's climate, some people are going to have to take the jobs that they can get. Everybody's not going to be able to get the $90,000, $100,000 a year job. Some people are going to have to slum it at the Wendy's for a little while before they can get the job. I think you can miss out on a really good woman because she's at the drive-thru line at the Wendy's. And she might be decent. She might be a good woman. And maybe the opportunity hasn't come for her yet to get to that professional state.
Right.
So
y'all do see the jerk in his name.
I wouldn't pigeonhole a woman like that just because she works where she works.
Right. Yeah, I would just to add on to what Trey just said.
Not tripping.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
pull these dudes up here. We going in today. Y'all talking about McDonald's missing out on a good. Go ahead, CLS. Go finish your point so I can demolish this.
All I was gonna say was just to add on to what Trey said. I agree with everything that he said, but I'm just saying when most guys start making large sums of money, large sums of cash, they start pursuing women that they wouldn't normally get if they didn't have that bread because they didn't have access to those women prior to getting that money. But you might miss out on finding a decent partner at McDonald's, and you could, I guess, if they wanted to put the time and effort into getting to know that person, they could build something together. You know what I mean? They could build wealth and purchase a home,
build wealth,
and have that life together. They could, yeah.
The fucking drive-through.
Not at McDonald's, bro. I'm saying you got to start somewhere, bro. You got to start from the bottom. You know what I mean? Because a lot of those guys,
we're in our 40s, man. What are you starting at?
Nah, I'm not talking about us, bro. I'm just saying, like any guy in general. I mean, like just anybody. I mean, like it could be one of your friends. I mean, Taj, he's 28. I mean, like, what if he met somebody that worked at like Wendy's or McDonald's and she was like assistant manager or something? I'm saying you guys could get together and you can start a business or something. You know what I mean?
I promise to God, Taj, how many dudes you know that got bread that are gonna talk to a girl that doesn't have much because she's beautiful?
Well, don't forget, I don't really have friends.
You can make some friends. You can make friends. You can make some new friends.
They're not concerned about the job they have, but because they're a genuine person and they they're a beautiful woman.
Mm-hmm.
Me,
right?
I would do that. Yeah.
So it's interesting to hear Manic's take and Jerk's take in the sense that they have to be. If you're not making $140,000 a year and you're not where I am in life, it's like I'm looking at you as down here. And I want to set it straight because not all men think like that at all. Not all men.
Yeah, most men don't think like that, but most men aren't successful. So,
Manic, you've been talking a lot. Hold on.
Yeah, man, give us a turn. Shit, damn. I'm motherfuckers talking. Y'all long with this motherfucker tonight.
You're talking a lot, bro.
Yeah. These two niggas right here.
I'm gonna mute up.
Can we say a complete sentence, a fucking paragraph or something?
Thank you, please.
You guys may talk.
Can't get a paragraph.
Right. When it comes to The stuff you guys are talking about, I get it. You want a high caliber chick. Understood that, right?
Yeah.
But not every woman, not every man is where you guys are in life. To Trey's point, you got people who are struggling their ass off every single day, but that's not going to take away from the fact that they're a good woman or not. I have dated women in the past that had absolutely nothing, but they supported me. They're beautiful and they were trying. I'm not going to throw them away because they didn't have what I had. I started from the bottom of my damn self. How can I look at a
like
woman
fries and McNuggets out here?
100,000 and then turn around and be like, oh, no, I can't talk to you because I started from the bottom. I worked my way up and it took me a long ass time, but I got there. Now, why would I not support somebody who's doing the same thing? It would be nice to have a woman that has all that, but I'm not going to throw away a woman who does not have exactly what I have. I cannot agree on that. I support what you guys are saying.
The big rib is back.
Not every woman, not every man is like that. I have to say that.
Yeah.
I'm with Phil 100% on that. I mean, when it comes down to me, I don't give a damn where you're working at, man. If you vibe with me and we click and it's natural, baby, you mine. It's just like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care. If you compliment me, you know, there it is.
Keep on fucking hating on Calvin, man. That nigga might be a fucking a sandwich maker at McDonald's, but we just said that nigga ain't gonna be a fucking GM in like 5 years. You don't fucking know. You don't know what Calvin doing right now.
No, it's not even about looking down at somebody. It's just like there's successful women that are good too, and why not give them a shot? You know, guys all the time be like, "Oh my god, they make money. They're bad. They're scary. They're not gonna." You know, nah. I'm gonna go up there and holla at them. Like, y'all don't want to holla at them. Y'all nervous? I'll go in that pool of women that got their shit together. Hey, we gonna be together, and y'all give us some McNuggets. You know what I'm saying? When your girl get off work, she get the discount. Like, hey, hook me up.
That's what I'm saying. That same bottle girl at the club, she might own that motherfucker in like 2 or 3 years. Own multiple clubs. Like, I don't know. Shit. She gonna be
money does not always equal happiness, bro.
Yeah,
money does not always equal happiness.
Yeah.
You can have somebody that ain't got shit, but if you truly love that person, that should last so much longer than bread. I'm sorry.
Preach, nigga.
If y'all get a divorce and get took in, y'all better not complain about women. Oh my god, they take everything. I don't want to hear this shit.
Hey, man, look, that same girl.
Sometimes you have to
talk about divorce court and alimony and shit. I don't want to hear it then.
I think
Erica got something to say.
Oh, listen, what's good, Erica?
So
kind of sit you on me and Manic side.
Who don't want the Wendy's drive-through worker?
Yeah.
If I, as a woman, were to say, I don't want no man that work at no McDonald's, Wendy's.
Facts. Fuck that nigga. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Then you missing out on a good man. Hey.
No. Then you're in my lane, and that's more for me. So that works.
It's safe to say that y'all agree that there's nothing wrong with a woman expecting someone on her level or above.
Nah, that's smart to me. I think that's beating out the week.
I think everybody should want somebody at their level or above.
Are you asking if the tables were turned or something? I want to make sure.
Well, she's asking for the female's perspective.
Because, you know, like on the flip side, it is a little, what do you call it? What is it when it's like double standard, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, we don't want nobody like what'd you say, coming home smelling like chicken McNuggets?
Yeah, chicken McNuggets and
now if I were on, you know, what is it, Kendra Live or something, talking about, and she's like, what type of man you want? And I say, I don't want no man coming home smelling like chicken nuggets and fries. Y'all would light me up in them comments.
Not me. I'll be like, hey, I understand, because you better have that bread too. I want to check your credit score on the first date.
Yeah. So it's my whole issue is like, hey, you should just want what you are. That's it. So you should.
You are what you attract.
Yeah, like
you got to be able to pull it though. That's the key. You can't be delusional.
Y'all niggas sound like Shallow Hal.
Can I ask you this, man? Can I ask you this?
Like Shallow Hal.
If you were to somehow lose that status and you had to go back down to maybe you had to work at the Wendy's for a little while, should the woman then leave you because you are no longer on her level?
Nah, I bagged already. We in love. Yeah. But if I didn't have anybody and I'm working at Wendy's now, I need to be dating other Wendy's coworkers.
See how the rationale doesn't make sense? See how it doesn't make sense?
I think y'all been looking at it, man.
Y'all not looking at it the right way. I want somebody at my level. So if my level is now Wendy's, that's what it is. I ain't gonna complain. I'm like, hey, we gonna fry these, we gonna grease these fries, we gonna flip these burgers, we gonna own this joint together. Like that's gonna be the new mission.
But the question wasn't that. The question was if she where she was at, right? She was successful as hell.
Yeah, and she lost all of it.
You had, and you was now working at McDonald's, and she's the one that's the Fortune 500. You going because you're in love. She gonna.
We fell in love already, so it's like we were on the same level. So I lost. I hit a hard rock. It stays just like if she was on that level and she hit a hard rock, lost her job, and
man,
now
it
she's
might
working
be
with
losing me right here. She out of there.
Nah.
Wait. So if she hit a hard rock.
She leaving you over here.
If you hit the hard rocks while you're together, it's fine. But if I meet her while she hits the hard rock, that's a no-go.
No, if I meet her when she's already in distress, then I'm not gonna rock with her because she's not at the level that I want to be at. She's not at the level that or unless there's like some crazy potential that I see. But I mean, I wouldn't even put myself in that type of environment because I don't just go based off of attraction and based off of looks. That's
what I'm talking about. Break it down to a manic. Let's break this down.
I'm more of an intellectual guy. So
are you a sophisticated elitist?
Absolutely. I'm joking. No, I'm joking.
I have to look up the definition of elitist. But,
I gotta look that up, Trey. It sounds like you try to trap us up. Let me look at this word.
I believe in ambition and I believe in hard work, and I'm willing to put in the work. So why wouldn't I want my partner to be on the same wave?
Trey, I believe in luxury items. So, as I fall in love with like elite.
Them niggas believe in perfection. If you ain't got it, they ain't with you. Period.
Bro, there's levels to this. Like, I don't have the highest levels, but at the level that I'm at, that's where I'm trying to be at. I'm trying to find a woman on that same level. That's it.
Yeah, no, honestly, I don't think it's a bad strategy for both people, both sides, both genders. Like, hey, I want somebody like, you can't be ridiculous and be like, exactly. But it's like, if y'all fall in the same range and you're professionals, yeah. Like, I ain't mad with women when they say that.
Oh, no, not an elitist. I just looked up the definition.
What's the definition, Manny? What Trey talk about over here?
A person who believes that society should be led by the elite. Absolutely not.
Oh.
They ain't gonna fuck the system up.
I might be elitist.
You're gonna be straight elitist.
Yeah. No, but I think you should be in a similar category. Because I mean, if we look at the divorce rate, most people ain't. I don't think marrying similar. Like, I hear a lot of guys like date down to a certain degree, but that shit don't work out. And they turn around and be complaining about it. So I do think there's something to it. Like what we saying, man. I think if you have a reciprocal type of relationship, it should kind of line up to a certain degree. Because I think a lot of people sometimes it's like I think a lot of people sign up for like a relationship that they end up being mad about down the line. So like guys would be like, oh, I'm gonna swoop in her, I'll take on all this burden, and then they just subconsciously they kind of get mad about it. Same thing with the females, when they get like a imbalance with the guy or something, then they don't have that fulfillment and stuff. So it's just one of those things that I think like people need to be honest with themselves. Like people typically don't want to take on whatever burden, whether it's male or female. So I think if people actually went out there and got somebody that like, hey, look, we both have our stuff together. Yeah. For example, me and my wife, we both are high earners. We're like, look, we could tag team together, pay down stuff quicker, save money. We both could, live in abundance. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people that operate like that. So it's not a bad thing. It actually takes off that whole, like, I'm looking for somebody to get an advantage on them or stuff like that. So it eliminates a lot of that stuff where you're operating truly in that sense of like, hey, I don't technically lead you for finances. We're together because we want to. We know together we could, like I said, build faster. So,
and I feel like the arguments could even be more authentic because you're not there because you have to be. Like if you're dealing with like if I'm making 200, right, and the woman I'm dealing with is making 40,000, then it's like that combined total is 240. And it's like she's gonna be looking at the situation like, hey, we're rich because we're making a combined 240. But if I'm dealing with somebody who's also making 200, she's already accustomed to managing her finances at the 200 level. So that's conversations and discussions and, oh, why can't we take this vacation? You make this. That's not going to happen because it's going to be like, hey, we both make the same. I really want to take this vacation. And if I say, hey, I'm doing something, I'm investing, my money's tied up in investments, then she's going to be like, hey, well, I'll pay for the trip this time around because I really want to go. And it's going to be a completely different dynamic. And it's like, I don't have to train somebody up on how to manage their finances. And
So
she could
you've always been
teach
at
me.
that level, right?
And
You've always been.
and she could probably teach me some things, you know, at the same level because we're two different people. But what happened?
You picked her. If you picked her,
Trey's like, I'm not having it.
did you pick her?
Always been this level though, right?
No, I mean you have to. That's the important part. No, you have to work hard
That's all I
for
wanted
it.
to hear.
Yeah. So everybody has to work hard. So if I find somebody who's worked just as hard as me and who's reached this level, then that's a win. Why would
I
I
don't
want
mind
to?
building up with somebody though. I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind that. I mean,
So
I
feel
love
you
a
on
woman
me.
that challenge
is
me,
not a hard
man.
worker because in certain states,
You said what?
$40,000 a year is a lot of money.
What are you saying?
In certain states, $40,000 a year is a lot of money. So that doesn't.
I'm
that
not
doesn't-
saying it's
that
not. I'm
40,000
just
does
saying
not
that
imply hard work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that it's not. I'm just saying I've worked harder
How do you know that?
because I did make 40,000 at one point in time.
So you worked harder than
And
that
I
person
kept-
making 4,000 because of what are you going off of? Your life.
I'm
struggles
going
compared to
off.
their life struggles?
I'm going off. Hold on. I'll tell you what I'm going off of. You asked the question. I'll tell you what I'm
I'm
going
loving this heat
off.
right now.
I'm
I
going
don't know
off
why.
of the fact
Phil
that
applying
hold on,
pressure. Get him, Phil.
I'm going off the fact that I had scholarships because I paid attention in school.
Mm-hmm.
I took 18 credit hours. I got straight A's on that. I missed out on partying. I missed out on kicking out with a lot of friends, and I made a lot of fucking sacrifices.
Mm-hmm.
So with those sacrifices, somebody in the same range has probably made similar sacrifices. Are they going to be the exact same? No, but there's going to be some level of understanding and consensus versus somebody who fresh got out of high school and decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to just do this, or I'm going to, try different things.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has their own route, but the route that I chose, built me up, and it took time. It took a lot of time. It took a lot of sacrifices. It took a lot of me making decisions that were less desirable than what I wanted because I was thinking about my future. So I want somebody who's also thinking like that. That's it.
So a person with $40,000, master's degree, that's a teacher. They didn't go through hard life, right? Because a lot of teachers make 40 grand a year.
True.
I don't know.
They went through the same shit to the T, 18 credit hours, sacrificed all that shit, but they're a teacher making $40,000 a year. What now?
Nope. I don't think. Oh, I forgot to add.
That's
I
all I
worked
wanna
2
hear. I
jobs
wanted
while I
to
did those
hear
18
this.
credit hours. I'm fucking ill, so I just want somebody just as ill as me.
But they have
Well,
the
Phil
potential.
got
They
a
have the
good
potential to
point.
make more money, though.
Maybe hard was the bad word, where maybe you worked a little smarter. Would you say?
Okay,
they have to-
I worked a
Yeah,
little
somebody
smart. I want
like
somebody
do it
fucking
like-
smart as me.
They're on a construction site.
They have the potential.
You're
to
not
make more
working
money.
harder than them.
Oh yeah, no facts. Like physical labor, no.
Yeah. That's not harder.
But
But
you
I get
know
what you're
teachers-
saying because you're outlining like the sacrifices, the stuff you were willing to give
Yeah.
up in the forefront, the like foresight to like map it out and be like, hey, I'm dedicated to this process. So while other people are hanging out and doing shit, you were like, I'm locking in. I'm going forward on that. So that makes
Yeah,
sense.
because I had a
I
vision.
got a question for you, bro.
But they make.
Yeah. I'm just self-centered. So I mean,
Right. I got a question for you. So, right, got it.
I'm an asshole, so I
Somebody-
just tell it like it
somebody
is.
who was in the
Women
military.
respect me for it, but
Making a base pay of $40,000 a year. Because I know you know people who are like that, who have deployed, who've given up their life, who have gone to school, done everything, been overseas, busted their ass, and killed themselves to do these things, to go to college for free because they couldn't afford it. Didn't have had little to nothing, and it chose the path of I got to get myself out of this fucked up situation. So I'm gonna take something. I'm gonna start off from a private, work my way up to a sergeant first class, a staff sergeant, whatever. Bust my ass, deploy 1,000 times, kill all that. But they're only bringing home $40,000 a year. Had the same exact type of struggle you had, right?
it's not the
But because-
same.
No,
'cause they had to
I'm
bust
not
their
talking
ass.
to you, man. I'm talking to Jerk. Hold
Okay,
up.
all right.
Because so when it comes to all of that, right? How is it
I
that
like this.
you all can look at, or maybe you're not looking at it the same way. How is it that you can look at a person that says, okay, and define what they've done in terms of work and their sacrifice because they don't have the same dollar amount that you have?
Can I add on to what Phil just said a minute ago about the high school teacher?
I'll let you go, but go ahead. I'm gonna sum this up for you guys in a second.
Just want to insert this one thing because he was like
Come
the
on,
40,000.
I felt like when Phil was
She-
talking though, we should have been playing the Star Spangled Banner and shit. I should have been like saluting. He was like mad patriotic over there. Shout out to Phil. But go ahead, CLS. Sorry about that.
No, I was just gonna say
It's Manic's fault.
she might start out as a teacher making 40,000 a year, but who's to say she don't work her way up to like superintendent? You know, a superintendent makes over 100.
Oh yeah,
a
they
year.
get bread.
They
Yeah.
get damn near 200,000 a year, bro. So who's to say she's not working her way up?
Yeah.
But CLS real quick. I think the point that people miss is just like if you're there, you're not always looking to like groom somebody because there are people that's at that level that got their stuff together. So I
Right.
think that's how some people we're looking at it as far as like, hey, there's a lot of good people that we come across, you know,
Right.
that because like guys all the time, like I said, they do be like, oh, I don't want to date a female that has her shit together because she might not listen. But we see differently from that. So there's a pool of females out there that are operating at that speed. So it's like you don't always have to like dip back down and build somebody up and stuff like that. So I think people always think like you need to do that. It's a lot of effort that goes into that. So I think it depends on probably your age. So
Right.
yeah.
Right.
So it
Right.
makes sense with that.
Right. No, I get what you're saying though. I get what you're saying. You don't want to go back down, but I mean, so you just automatically just want to go find that person who's already equivalent to you, the person that's already on your level, or you feel like they're equivalent to you career wise and have their finances on and all that. You may just
Well, because it's a mindset thing. That's what a lot of people don't understand. It's like if you build yourself up to like a certain level, you do have a certain mindset. So a lot of times people don't understand that like sacrifice, how you kind of understand finances, and that's hard to teach. A lot of people just don't understand that, you know. So that's why like a lot of times it is good to get somebody that's probably in that same like bracket because they're going to understand like, hey, when I'm saying like we need to invest in this and put our money over there, it's not foreign to them because a lot of times when people don't have money and they come up and they start doing better, they like hold on to it, you know, the risk averse and stuff. So that's why, you know, there's a lot of layers to that.
But there's a lot of men dating younger women. So if you're dating a woman that's like 10 years younger than you, let's say you're in your 30s, you dating some chick in her early 20s, she's still climbing up the mountain.
Yeah, I don't do that. That's why I say I'm looking at older chicks.
Oh, okay. Well, you date somebody
I don't mess with the youngest, dog. Like,
yeah, you expect them to already be at that level because you guys are the same age.
My chicks might be coming out on walkers. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay, yeah. but most men are dating. They're dating down. They're dating younger women.
But let me give a Phil. Phil, what was your? Let me go back to you. So you were saying like as far as the military going down and
right, because I know some of you have served and know people who have served, right?
Mm-hmm.
The question that I had was if you take a person who has had that same sacrifice, somebody who has literally had nothing and the only way to get out of where they were was to join the military, right? You start off from the very bottom making next to nothing, but you're like, this is the only way that I can pay for college. My family can't afford it. It's the only way to feed myself because I have no money, right? And I got a family at home that has next to nothing. So you build yourself up and you make those sacrifices either for yourself and or your family. You're making $40,000 bring home because the military doesn't pay that much, but there's other benefits that come with it, right? And the question I had for you, Jerk, was that do you side with Manic in a sense that if $40,000 is your cap, right? If that's what you're looking at, let's just throw out a random ass number. If 40 grand is where you're at, if I got $40,000 bring home, but I busted my ass the same way you did, and my passion was to be a teacher. I want to instruct kids. I want to just teaching is my thing, right? And I'm teaching your kids to be the next generation of CEOs, presidents, whatever. You look at the dollar amount and compare that to the sacrifices and how hard you've worked with the taking 18 credit hours, skipping parties, doing all that shit. Same thing that anyone else would do, but because you're not making the same dollar amount, you look at that as the hard work is not comparable. It's not in other words, I worked harder than you because now my sacrifice is this, right? I make $140,000 a year, so therefore everything I've done in my life is a hell of a lot harder than what you've had to go through.
No, I don't think it's like a direct comparison because I get what you're saying. Like going through that walk myself, I understand. Like, you know, people are definitely putting that work in. You know, military, they're not our teachers. They're working hard and stuff. I think the difference is like what I just kind of said. It's like I'm not going through that. I'm done with that struggle. So it's more or less like you're in that entry level phase, figuring it out where I'm already figured it out. I'm kind of in my like later years of life, and I'm not trying to like walk nobody through it. There's enough good, like I said, a good pool of people that's already in that same position that I'm going to be pulling for. So it's not like the shit on their sacrifice or where they're going through. Cause that's a commendable thing. Whatever. My oldest sister, like I'll say she's my mentor, man, teacher, now like a superintendent. So like what CLS was saying, like, nah, there's definitely money in the game, but it's like you starting off at the bottom. Like that ain't my struggle. I'll donate to the teachers fund and give y'all a thumbs up, but I like Chilean sea bass. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying, you know,
nigga, you two niggas sound like
I'm not struggling with nobody. I'm good. Like I've been through that walk. Like, hey, you see what I'm saying? So it's more or less that.
Nah, you two niggas in the back of the Rolls Royce, fucking passing Grey Poupon through the window and shit.
No doubt.
Expensive ass mustard and shit.
Like, man, what you doing over there? Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, CLS and Trey still at McDonald's.
Nigga passing mustard and shit. Yeah.
they gotta get up with us later.
Yeah, Grey Poupon ass niggas, yo.
Nah, but that's what I say the brilliance to women. Women look at stuff like when they map stuff out, it's more or less like, hey, I'm looking at the whole picture. You know, yes, I do want to be with somebody attractive, but I like what Erica was saying earlier. Like, dudes to be getting at them, but I'd be like, nah, man, they doing what they should do. Because if you want to get a family, like, I know you said something earlier, Phil, about like putting dollars and stuff, but it ain't we putting dollars to it. It's society putting dollars to this. It's like, man, you can't go into the bank and try to take out a mortgage with happiness and like character. They're gonna look at you like, hey, let me see your paycheck stubs. Yeah, give me some references. Let me see your credit score.
But I can make the argument that all that you just said is not gonna equate to a dollar amount. If I on-time credit payments, got a house, got a mortgage.
Nah, you gotta come with paycheck stubs. Trust me.
I'm still gonna be that caliber of like I can do all these things because my credit score is amazing. That's a whole different topic. But yeah.
What say you, Erica?
Yeah, Erica, go ahead.
I'm glad Phil just said that about, you know, how it can work. It doesn't have to be set to a dollar amount. So just because I have all
Phil's full of shit.
The woman that Manic Genius described, would you classify that woman as a modern woman?
Yeah. I would classify honestly all women as modern women because we live in a modern society and nobody operates in tradition.
Yeah.
Love it. Totally agree. Do the rest of you agree with that?
Absolutely. All traditional means nowadays is I'm gonna get that bread in the back end in court. That's what that means.
I'm gonna take advantage of your slow ass.
Yeah.
I don't agree with shit Manic's saying at all. None of it.
Trey, what's your take on this? I heard Trey break this down before. Give Trey the mic.
Yeah, most women stop being traditional right around 13, 14 years old. They are no longer traditional at that point. So I completely agree with Manic. Almost every woman you come in contact with is a modern woman, and that's how they move. I don't necessarily agree with the whole money thing. I've never looked at a woman and said, damn, she got a really good career. I've never cared about it. I've always cared more about her character, morals, values, what type of mother and wife she'll be. If she happens to make a ton of money, great. If she doesn't, it's never really been a thing for me. But I will say this, though. I do pay attention to her debt. Her debt does say a lot about her. One of the reasons why I didn't marry my daughter's mom is because she had a shit ton of debt, and I had none. I have zero debt. So thank the Air Force for that. But I have zero debt. But when she asked, why won't you marry me? That was my answer. I'm not about to sign up to be a part of all the debt that you're bringing into this marriage.
Oh, yeah.
So, what about school debt, Trey? What about school debt, though?
Good point.
That's what she had. She had school debt.
Yep. Good point, bro.
How much, Trey?
It happened to one of my coworkers.
It was close to 6 figures.
Damn.
It was close to 6 figures. And I wasn't signing up for that. So while I don't care about her salary, I do ask that at some point in time we're going to exchange credit reports. I need to see how much debt you have.
Yeah.
Because that is important, and it is a hindrance to us in moving on in the future.
Facts.
How much debt?
What if she's paying on her own? She's not requiring you to help though.
So here's the thing, Phil. I thought the same thing. If she's paying on it, right, we should be good. And in law enforcement, they have a system where if she signs a contract for so many years, they'll pay the whole thing off for her, right? But I didn't like that concept because to me it sounded like modern day slavery. And it also sounded like what I signed up for in the Air Force. You can't move. There's no flexibility there. You're stuck. So I didn't like that. The issue is that there was one time she was on the phone with the debt collector and she had him on speakerphone. And they asked her if she was married. And she said no. You know, they do like a whole little breakdown to see how much you can afford to pay. And then they asked her, do you live alone? And for whatever reason, she said no. Because she didn't. We lived together. And she said, well, is that your husband? She said no. She said, well, how much money does he make? The person on the phone asked her, how much money does he make? And before she could say a word, I said, you better not tell them how much money I make. Because it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter how much money I make. I don't have the debt. She does.
Yep.
But what they were trying to do was find out just how much of the bills in the home she was contributing to if somebody else was in the house to pay, which means that she had more money to put towards the loan. So I figured it out right then and there. I see how this works. If we get married, it's going to be our money that they're going to look at. So no, I can't marry her. Sorry. Not until you get rid of that debt. But we didn't make it until she got rid of the debt. And
that happened. And that happened to one of my coworkers. As soon as he married his wife, her debt became his debt. They filed their taxes. They took all that shit. Took the whole refund. All that shit. Because of her debt, her student loan debt.
Yeah, Trey, I would just say you're a smart man for that.
Yeah, you're definitely enlightened one. It sounds like you need to be in line with our position, even though you're down there tripping.
Because you guys are talking about salary and career and with meeting. That doesn't really matter to me. But I do agree though. I don't want to. It's a mean thing to say, but a lot of women Erica, no disrespect to y'all women. But y'all are only independent because of your ability to be able to accumulate debt. If you weren't able to get debt, y'all would be with men and y'all would be as traditional and submissive as you possibly could be because you wouldn't have any other option. The fact of the matter is that a lot of women are independent because you can go get a mortgage and you can go get an auto loan and you can go get a student loan. And it makes it seem as though, hey, I'm doing this on my own. When in actuality, all they did was create a modern day slave. That's all they did.
Panda Bear said a disagree.
Yeah.
Let me get Taj on this. Taj, what's your take on the whole? Good question, Erica. What's your take on? Do you have an issue with like the traditional woman, or do you think everybody's like modern nowadays?
I guess I'll go with modern. I operate different. Everything sounds like a damn business when you look at things like that, and that's boring. I thrive off of love. And I know everybody be like, "Oh, that's ridiculous," because I understand the world we live in today, but I ain't got to be like everybody else living in this world today, which is why I don't attract a lot of people. I move in a different direction. When I get married, I don't want that shit to be based off of how much you make or where you at. No, if you love me, let's rock. You know what I mean? Because that's what's going to rule. Love is going to conquer this. You know what I mean? Not my finances. I can care less about your finances. Your heart and your spirit, your soul. That's what I'm after. When you think about all the shit y'all talking about, y'all making me sick. Like, I'm tired of talking about the money. I'm tired of talking about the debt and all that stuff.
I'm gonna have to give Taj some pushback.
You get married for love, bro.
I agree. Hold on, I want to say, I do agree with Taj. Like, I do believe in love. I really love my money and my assets, so I can't put myself in a position of taking advantage of.
Like,
okay, Scrooge McDuck. We start calling you Scrooge. Scrooge McDuck. You gonna get your own money, Ben? Maybe swimming in like gold coins and shit, gold chips.
What was you about to say, Taj?
Cujo, chill.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with you, Taj. So I definitely think, man, you got to marry for a love element, but it doesn't hurt to like look at other factors.
I'm not saying it don't hurt.
Oh, yeah, finances.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it don't hurt. Just don't let it dictate your relationship or your, soon to be marriage. Everything is a buildup. Nothing's gonna. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I don't want nobody that has every damn thing. For one, I'm gonna want to feel needed. I don't want nobody to be like, I got this, I got that. So you can go on. I don't want that. I don't want to ever feel like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't mind the build up. You know, everybody be like, oh, I want to build this, I want to build that. Okay, well, you're asking for this, you're gonna get exactly what you're asking for. You're gonna get blessed with somebody who has not as much as you do. So now you ain't got nothing but your love to go based off of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's gonna happen if you really take the time to, you know, be with that person. If you're really for that person, not their finances. You know, if you're with them for other reasons, then no, that shit's not gonna work. That's why marriages don't work. The money messes up the marriages, not the people. It's the money.
Yeah.
No, I think it's they do cite money. I think where the divorces,
money and infidelity.
I think it's more mainly a struggle type thing. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
So I do see what you're saying, but yeah, it's I think it's twofold sometimes. People either try to control it too much or there's a lack thereof.
Mm-hmm.
But Erica, let me ask you a question. What would you consider yourself nowadays? Are you modern or traditional?
I am a combination of the two.
Oh,
I can be traditional. I do believe in a lot of traditional aspects. I do, to a degree, believe in gender roles. However, I'm a hardworking woman, so I don't believe in being at home, taking care of home. That's not who I am. Now, I can be that person. I am a very nurturing person, just in general, just naturally. But I don't believe that I am required as a woman to sit back and just not work hard for what I, up to this point in my big age, have worked so hard to accomplish. That's going to continue. And I do think the older you get, like Taj, I love everything that you're saying, and you're still in your 20s, which I would advise if you're looking for love, start seeking it now, because the goalpost changes as you get older.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, all through my 20s, I was, you know, wanting to find love and be in love and marry for love. Now I'm like, I want to be a mother. Damn the husband. I want to be a mother. I want to have a child. So what do I need to do? I just need to find a co-parent partner and say F the marriage. And then I start looking at my finances. The older I get, the more money I make for myself. Do I want to inherit someone else's debt? Like Trey was saying, like, do I want to be legally bound to a person after I've worked so hard all this time and done it by myself, quote unquote, the independent woman, done it by myself? Do I now want to legally bind myself to someone else and have to share all their bullshit? Right? I can still have love and find love, but do I have to inherit someone else's debt or whatever it may be? I also don't want to be in a relationship where I feel like I have to dumb down myself in order to stroke a man's ego, because I hear a lot about, you know, men saying that, you know, oh, these women, they don't want to date a bus driver, or they won't date the man that's, you know, is working at McDonald's or whatever. But can your ego really handle a woman that's making 2-3 times the amount of you, or making, like, can you really handle it? Like, and some of that, I think sometimes y'all look at it as from like
I'm sleeping on your couch
perspective or a gold digger perspective, rather than sometimes it's underlined in fear. Like, I don't want to be with a man that makes less than me because I fear how he may treat me because of that. It's not necessarily about what he got. It's more so, I don't know if I want to deal with it. Y'all was talking about narcissism earlier. Like, you know, a narc if you come across one, and a narc ain't gonna be able to handle that. Period.
Over. Okay.
So, like, there is like, for me, I'll just speak for myself. There is a bit of a fear of me dating a man who makes less or feels less than, because again, I'm approached by men who lead with what they got or talking about what I got. Like, I've been on many first dates where as soon as I get in the car or as soon as I meet up with them, the first thing they say is, oh, I see you bossed up. I see you doing good with your business. I see you all over social media. You sure you got time for a man like me? Because I ain't on your level. Like, they portray it as a joke, but it comes off extremely insecure. And that scares me.
It sounds like too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So.
I'd be in your whip with my
There's
shoes
a lot
off,
of videos like that too.
rolling down the windows and shit. Like, look.
Yeah, right.
So I can
Yeah.
be traditional. I believe like I can be that, but I also don't know how to like base my standards on like what type of man I want and where he's at, because I don't know who can handle it mentally, emotionally.
Okay. No, that's a good perspective. Yeah, we're gonna have to have a topic on that, modern versus
Yeah.
traditional, because
Definitely
it's
gotta
just
touch
like
that.
I don't understand why like modern got so bad of a vibe. I get it. People, there's like always a group of people that's like bad and good. I think in every category. But I think like modern, it's damn near like a modern woman is just like breathing fire and like kicking people's shit over and stuff. So it's just like, nah, it's just like most people ain't like that. It's just modern means adapt. You know, most people don't know definitions. That's why like I always try to start off with the definition. But yeah, you definitely got to come back and we're going to break that one down. That's definitely got to be a topic. But all right, we'll go ahead and start closing this out. We'll go around real quick. You know, Man and Genius, any parting words and where can we find you at? And do you appreciate Phil bringing that smoke to you today? Phil was on your neck, man. Shout out to Phil.
Shout out to Phil. I appreciate the smoke. It allows me to articulate my stance and, you know, further broaden on the perspective of, you know, the Manic Genius. So I always welcome it. I always welcome pushback because I'm always trying to learn. So I really do genuinely appreciate that. Parting words. Thank you, Erica, for popping up on the panel and, you know, camming up and providing such insightful conversations and getting us worked up a little bit and, you know, making us have to really think and answer these questions because I thought your questions were really good. So I appreciate that and more than welcome to come back to the panel. Tuesdays, 8:00. But yeah, you can find me on social media, IG at the Manic Genius, and on the Manic Sophistication Network. That's it for me.
All right, my man Phil, aka Turn Up God.
First, I'm gonna give a shout out to Erica and Taj. Erica, I support everything you said. I have a little girl, and one day I hope she has the same mentality you do. Taj, homie, as far as everything else that they saying, fuck that, bro. I completely understand what you're talking about. I completely support
Taj,
it.
I don't know what you're talking about,
You and I
Taj.
are gonna agree on that to the day that
we used to be cool, Taj.
I will
See, that's why I
also
appreciate you, Phil.
money does not equate to love. I don't care what nobody says. You don't have to have a bunch of fucking money to be loved. Money's nice, but it does not equal happiness. And you can find me on Phil_Pack at TikTok.
All right.
All right, Taj. Parting words. Ignore that money can't buy happiness. I got research data that proves that wrong. Yeah, we might have a show on that too.
Money by happiness.
Well, what the hell did I want to say? Oh yeah, Phil, I'm gonna go ahead and shout you out too, bro. I love the intensity, man. I was feeling that. I like that shit. I like when we all challenge each other. I was actually waiting on an episode where that shit was gonna happen. I ain't gonna front. We can all laugh and cool, but I'm ready to dig at each other a bit. So I was feeling that a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Erica, I don't know if it was because of you or not, but it seemed like tonight's episode was more intense than
it was definitely Erica's fault.
I was feeling that a lot.
Definitely Erica. We appreciate it.
But yeah, you guys can find me on Instagram at Sagacious Taj. That's all I'm gonna say, y'all. Much love.
All right, CLS.
Yeah, I agree with Taj. Yeah, marry for love, bro. It's just you can, like I said, you can find your bro chick and you two can build wealth together. You know what I mean? You can climb the mountain together. That's fuck what they say.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, man.
Yeah, give me a broke chick. Yeah, and you know what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mickey D's all day. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, be on my knees like fucking busting pans and washing dishes with her. But yeah, you can find me. You can find me on TikTok, IG, YouTube. This is CLS.
All right, Erica. Parting words. Where can we find you at?
Well, first,
and feel free to shit on CLS, Taj, and Phil if you want to.
No, I won't tonight. But thank y'all for letting me come on. And I didn't mean to get things riled up, but I think maybe I contributed to that conversation.
It was excellent.
Yeah, you did.
I will definitely come back if you all will have me. But You can find me at EDonLove1 or at Erica Dawn Voices. That's where I do most of my voice acting work and narration and all that. So, anybody interested in doing any of that type of stuff, send them my way.
And I'll put your links at the bottom of the videos because I usually put everybody's links. So you probably have to like message us with that so we can put it on there. But appreciate that. And just to give you a shout out, Erica, definitely that's what we want to build because we're pretty balanced. I know sometimes like some conversations people can't take them, which is good, but it's like we need to have them. But we're all balanced guys, as you can see. Like we challenge each other. We got different views and stuff like that. And that's why a lot of people do hit us up. They're like, hey, talk about this topic because, you guys are pretty balanced across the board and stuff where, a lot of times there's other people that's just like, hey, anything women, like we're against it. Nah, like we just have different point of views and we love hearing the female perspective and everybody gets talk time. Well, maybe not as much tonight, but we were trying to work on that and stuff, like make sure everybody get their stuff out. But yeah, we definitely try to challenge each other. So we appreciate you coming up here and giving them viewpoints because it's needed, getting those different perspectives. So you more than welcome to come back. Look at Travel One.
Travel
One.
Shout out to Travel One.
Erica.
It's Travel One.
Shout out to Travel One.
That's the homie, Travel One. She low key hates us, but she loves us. There's a thin line between love and hate.
Yeah.
And shout out to Panda Bear and Trey and in the chat. We
can't focus though.
You says there's a thin line between fries and shakes.
Yeah.
Like Calvin. Yeah.
But definitely tune into the channel. Like I said, Tuesday, 8:00. That's what the time slot where we're gonna keep going live and stuff. And anybody want to come up here, we make sure everybody's respected. It's not gonna be none of that like cussing people out, none of that. So we're gonna try to keep it respectful, respecting people's viewpoints, give your pushback. So feel free to pull up on us and stuff. We got a good panel of guys, man. Taj was giving us the breakdown on love and stuff like that. So one of these shows, we're definitely going to have the Kid Money. Huh?
You want to know about love, you come see your boy.
Tell him, Taj. Tell him.
Hey, look,
why you got to say it like that? It's all smooth.
Yeah.
Everybody forgot what the
you
hell
want to know about love,
about.
you got to come to your boy.
Mm-hmm.
Phil came back with the smoke. Appreciate that. CLS finally popped back up.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, we out of here. Thanks for showing up again. Thanks.